Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's TokuTonic shift. I'm still very sick with right now it feels like a swollen throat. Like I don't know if it's like tonsils or what. I'm out here sipping on tea in my Sailor Moon mug because real men drink from a Sailor Moon mug. As of course, we just got through watching Blazar and that literally just ended. Told everybody in the chat before putting up this stream, even before that, to go ahead and watch it because that's the first thing we're going to be talking about this evening. But first up, we've got a nerd named Mark. Of course, you weren't here last week. How are you this evening?
Good. Just watched Ultraman and had some pickles, so I'm good to go.
Good. And then joining us only for the Ultraman talk because, of course, he's got work in the morning. Sidrazar, how are you?
I am pretty fine, thank you. Probably better than you are feeling right now, but hey ho, you'll get there.
Yep, one day. And then, of course, newbie to the Ultraman franchise, but then just watching the first episode of Blazar, we have Ash, the Oxy 360. How are you this evening? Morning.
I'm good. Just coming off Ultraman Blazar and excited to talk about it. Like, a lot to digest with what I just watched, but yeah, it was something.
And then, last but not least, we've got Cloudy. How are you this fine evening?
I'm great. I'm jamming out to Black Star, that ending song. It's really fantastic.
All right. So first things first. How about that grunt, Mark? Give me your best Blazar impression.
Which grunt? It was just like, I was just like, I'm trying not to think about it. Honestly, that was just it caught me off guard. It really did.
It did. There were a few people in the chat while this was playing that were already like, "Oh yeah, that grunt. I can't get into that grunt." Sai, what's your best Blazar grunt?
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep. Isn't that the beginning of John Cena's theme song?
I think so.
The part before that is like.
All right, Ash, give me your best impression of Blazar.
I don't think I can top that, but I think.
Okay, pretty good. Okay, Cloudy, what's your best impression?
Oh,
my one was when he was jumping up and down, going.
Oh my god!
Very primal with it to the end.
I was just like, man, this man pulled out the fucking Tarzan.
We were in our like before like the little lobby here. Me and Zio, we were just like the whole fight. He's just like, what is he doing? He's jumping.
It's like when y'all said he was primal, I wasn't expecting like caveman primal just coming out here, literally almost like it's very raw as fuck. The fight, considering he rips out like the kaiju's fucking arms and then beats them with it. But then beforehand, it's just like a grunt off, like an old DBZ stare down of intimidation tactics. It's very like, feral animals. But yeah, so real quick, going from what we saw there, definitely an established world at that. I did like that the pretty much to set the tone, the first entire episode happens at night, which is of course that's when you know your toku's about to be serious, when it's at night. And apparently there's already like pre-established lore in terms of like Ultraman already being spotted by astronauts ahead of time. The brace just kind of pops up out of nowhere, and the way Gento just like is forced to transform, like they guide his hand into it. But then again, we still don't know anything about this Ultra. Like there's no like in mind like state of talking or anything like that. And for me, like coming off like some of the older Ultraman that I've watched, I'm like, okay, that's different. I don't know if there's other series that have done it similar to this. Once again, pretty new when it comes to all this. But my biggest thing is I hope that it's a growing show, meaning that we see Blazar like learn, stop becoming like completely primitive, and by like maybe halfway through he's just going full beast mode, but calm, cool, collected type thing, based on what we've seen here. But Mark, what's your first impressions when it comes to this episode?
I enjoyed it. I did like that they kind of had the, like you said, the lore, like when he brought up the astronauts and stuff like that, but he's like, Ultraman, it is real. So it's kind of like, to them, it was like almost, I got the hints, it was like an urban legend almost, because you know, astronauts see things, you know, if they actually went to space, but that's besides the point. I like that this isn't like a new generation like season, because I mean, I didn't mind. I mean, Trigger was a thing and Necker was good, but I was like, I wanted a new Ultra. I liked the suit. I know a lot of people didn't. I liked it a lot. I guess, you know, Subaru is making a lot of money, because I felt like the production value on this was really good. And I've missed in-suit kaijus in my Toku for quite some time outside of indie Toku. Like, let's face it, the big three that we haven't had enough suit, like, physical. It's been CG heavy, so this was really, like, that's what I missed. I like my suit monsters, my kaijus. The only thing is the fight. I needed better music. When you open the building up and you see the side of the face, I needed like a guitar riff to kick in, and I needed some. But other than that, obviously I'm hooked. I'm gonna watch it, like, because it's Ultraman. So, but it was good.
Yeah.
Solid 8.5 for debut episode.
And Zai, Mr. Veteran to the franchise as well, what are your thoughts coming off of this episode?
Well, how hard do you want me going for these thoughts? Do you have a structure in mind, or just general stuff for now?
Just first impressions based off of this.
Okay, of course it's too early to call right now, like, oh yeah, bestest premiere ever, but I don't think this is the best premiere that the show's ever had. But what I do very much like about it is, as you were talking about, the establishment of the world building that's already set up here. But what I really appreciated most about this first episode is how it didn't treat the audience like an idiot. Like, it just let you figure out for yourself that, okay, this is the team. They're clearly organized. Captain Gento is clearly very competent at what he does through showing rather than telling. I really like that whole mindscape sort of thing that we're going for with this, how there was some visual and audible stuff about it, like how the people were talking in a very like robotic, non-natural way to convey that, oh, this is a bad idea. Just subtle things like that were throughout it. Obviously, we've had more militaristic style Ultraman teams before, but this one really felt the most like, okay, this is an organized group of people who know what they're doing. They have their tactics, they have their contingencies, more so than a lot of previous defense teams, I think. To me, I think the fight scene was honestly the weakest part, if only because previous premiere episodes directed by Kiyotaka Taguchi, like this one, have had more standout moments in terms of the fight scenes, whether that be through an amazing piece of cinematography, visual effect, or whatever. But this one did feel kind of a bit standard fare. But I understand for the whole setting up of things to come. And I'm with you kind of in the sense that I really like Blazar's characterization at the start, but I too am hoping that it's something that progresses a bit further as we go through. But yeah, those are just my general things. I have some more specific stuff, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Theo? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Dio?
Yeah. He's frozen.
Frozen.
Hello?
All right. And we'll move on to Ash then. Ash, first impressions as someone who has not watched
Seen many
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Yeah. Like, it's hard. I might have to watch the episode again, because being on the Subaraya YouTube channel, you get all the ads, so that does sort of mess with the pacing for me. There's like ads every 5 to 8 minutes. Hopefully we're still live.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we are. I'm watching it.
Cool. Right. So yeah, this was quite the interesting like first episode. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch and revisit it. and also give it the free episode try because it's definitely setting up the lore. And well, the lore's pre-established what you guys said, but I want to give it the free episode try to see what I'm getting in for. I think it was the first good impression. I like how it just jumped straight into the action with like the military vibes going on for it. And even the Ultraman fight scene was really good. Like that opening fight scene, as soon as he transforms and runs up the building and just like drop elbows him, that was really like I was like thinking like, what is he doing? And then I was like, oh shit, like that's some wrestling moves right there. But yeah, like as someone who hasn't seen much Ultraman, I'm definitely on board so far. And seeing how it's only going to be 25 episodes, I can see if I can stick around to the end and see if I like the show or not. But from what I've seen so far, I'm definitely enjoying it.
They always use good wrestling moves in Ultraman. It's one of the things that appealed to me. And as like I said, 25 episodes, so it's easier to digest, and there's not really an excessive amount of filler.
Yeah.
And Cloudy, as someone who dabbles in the Ultra series,
I haven't seen them all yet, so yeah.
You should have left it at just dabbles in the Ultra.
Oh, I do dabble. That is true. Yeah, I'm very on board for this. Well, it's Ultraman, so I'm always going to be on board for it anyway. But this was really good. I liked the dynamic of the captain. Like you could tell, everyone like respected this dude already. Like he's proven himself in the past. He's done similar things in like crazier or as crazy situations as this. So everyone just trusts him when he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go off into the next building here. I'll see you guys in a sec." I like the sort of like Jimmy Neutron brain blast thing that he was putting together, like the plan before everything, happened. Like he was just running scenarios through his head. That was nice. The Blazar fight itself was okay. It was okay. I liked we got to see Kaiju gets their arm ripped off. That was cool. Yeah. I haven't seen that in a very
that was cool.
Yeah, but for like Ultraman standards, I think like for an episode 1, this was, I don't want to say like standard Ultraman, but this was definitely like kind of expected, like if that makes any sense. Like this felt like very similar to like, I think maybe just because I recently watched it, X first episode, because like they had that established military and the power just came out of nowhere and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's always going to be like a certain formula they don't 100% follow, but like almost.
Well, I'm not saying like it's not like it's not unique. It's not like just a diss to it. It's just like obviously I feel like this is like, I don't want to say like standard Ultraman episode 1, but this is like, it has all the beats of like a...
Yeah, it's not doing anything like out of the ordinary in that sense. Like, because as you said, there is, the host has got to be introduced. They've got to get the powers somehow, etc., etc. The first monster's got to be just a jobber who's going to come back as an underling to the mid-series boss or something in episode 12. Yeah. They've got to set all that stuff up, but I think this one did a lot to diverge the formula than what we've seen in stuff like Trigger or Decker or even
absolutely.
Zed.
Yeah, and
definitely a lot more than those shows. But
so really quick, did everyone watch it with subs? I couldn't figure out how to get it in English.
It was auto subbed. If you
no, it only goes subbed on the premiere. You can watch it dubbed.
Oh, because on the freaking whatchamacallit, it was like, hold on, Zio is back. I don't think I can.
His PC.
Oh, there you
go.
So with the subs, like it took me a while to figure out. But what I did,
my computer's literally in the process of restarting right now, so I'm waiting for everything to start booting up. I literally just clicked on Chrome as soon as like.
Don't worry, we didn't go down. If so, we're
that's what I see. I was just like, okay, the stream's still up. That's
good. So because for me, when it like popped up, it's like, oh, in the title it says English audio track available, and I was like, wait, no, that shouldn't be available left. So I was trying to figure out how to do it. And I was like, I watch it subbed anyways, but I wanted to like hear how it would sound with the English.
Oh, the growl in English. I need to hear that.
Yeah.
We got to hear Johnny growl.
Oh yeah.
So I'll probably be checking out the dub version next, just to make sure. Absolutely. Just because I want to give it, I want to check out both because we haven't gotten this before.
When is the dub dropping? That's simul dubbed. Is it dropping like after this?
It should be like on. It should be on the options, like the audio options on the thing. It can't do it through the Premiere.
Yeah. So now that it's done,
now that it's done, you can change the option in the Video Direct.
Yeah, it'll because that's cool. When you hit the gear and it shows like subtitle tracks, there'll be another one that says audio track, and then you just select English.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been employing that with the other like regular specials and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I'm
gotta check out the regular.
So you might know this. Did you I noticed they had like the little ad for the stage show with DVD releases in Japan. I don't know what like the Mill Creek Subaraya deal is. Do you think we're gonna get some of those?
I wouldn't put it off the table, considering we did get the very first Ultraman stage show ever made released on Blu-ray and stuff.
Yeah,
but I think that's a different sort of matter because you've got to account for likenesses of the audience, and stuff like that.
Do you think? Do you think they'll put it on the YouTubes?
They have put some. They have some on the YouTube with subs,
and on their
not a lot.
And on the Ultraman Connect site too, they have some because I frequent that a lot because they do a lot of. If anyone wants to get into Ultraman or you're a fan, the Ultraman Connect website is really good. They do a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yes,
like
free accounts, and you can watch a bunch of Ultraman content for free when you sign up to the website. So do it.
Oh, I have a question for you.
And they have merch too on there.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is just because you're new to Ultraman. I was just curious, like, how well do you think like this episode captured you as someone who's never seen Ultraman before? Like, do you think like this would capture a lot of people who've never seen the show before or don't know what Ultraman's about?
Hard to say because like it's very different from like I guess your Sentai and your Kamen Rider with the vibes it's got going on with the whole military vibes. I think it would, but you'd have to maybe like do a little bit of research of like the basics of Ultraman, just like the what is Ultraman. But I feel like this might be a good first jumping on point for a lot of people. They are dubbing it, so they must have some faith on it that it's going to be good for newcomers. So we'll see what happens.
It might be too early to call that right now, if only because just from this first episode alone, it is very different from any first episode we've come to at this point. So we can't really say right now, obviously, how it's going to account for the rest of the show. But I do agree that given its availability, ease of access, English dub option, that at least for now, and considering, you know, it's the current ongoing thing, get into it now with Blazar, and I think it'll open up the doors to the wider Ultraman verse, because they have said that this is pretty much a soft kind of reboot in a sense, where there's going to be no connections to the past outside of like a few returning kaiju here and there.
Oh, and obviously the gimmicks.
And yet, well, the gimmick items are only going to be in the toy line. They're not showing up in the show itself. So, again, makes things easier for people to understand. Rather than, oh, yeah, this is a new generation Tiga, but do I need to see Tiga in order to understand what this is, kind of thing?
No. How are you doing, Zio? You back?
I am back, though. I got to double check and see if the poll that I started up before my PC crashed is still up and running, because that way I can
it is
ahead. Okay.
Mark, can we get like your top 5 pickle brands?
Are there even 5 brands of pickles?
Yeah, actually there are.
Dude, I always go for Vlasic and that's it. Okay, I'm a man of culture.
Oh, that
or the ones I get at the farmer's market with the guy down the street makes them homemade in his basement. Not creepy at all.
Oh, did you ever try making that Chick-fil-A style chicken that I recommended?
Oh yeah, with the pickles.
Yes. That was good. Oh, I didn't tell. Oh, that's right. I've been on Discord because I have like I'm running on like a hamster wheel computer right now again. Oh, it's fucking delicious.
Orb in chat, can you stop gaslighting people?
What is he gaslighting people about this time?
Or Blazar isn't new Gen Tiga. What are you talking about?
Orb, stop that. No. We've talked about this before. Stop it. You stop it now.
So, of course, since we were watching this thing live and they put in all the commercials that we got for it, who's hyped about the toys, at least? Now, seeing them in action and all that stuff. I do want that bracer.
I'm definitely gonna get.
I will say that I really like the old school effects and sound effects that they threw in with that. Yeah. With the transformation, I was already like sold.
Yeah. So I got the mecha pre-ordered, like the little robot. That should be coming out soon. I'm on the fence because I like the DX one for the Blazar, but I'm probably gonna get the Memorial one when that gets released eventually, because it's gonna be like Orb all over again, where I'm gonna buy like Orb stuff, and then all of a sudden they get like the good high quality larger size ones. Like, oh great, now I gotta buy that.
You're gonna get all the coins as well?
No, okay. Like I
gotta see how the coins are implemented into the show.
They're not, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah,
No, they're not. It's just the Blazar one. That's the only one we're getting.
that's great.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying yeah to that. I was saying yeah in chat, and I realized I didn't say the name, so I just said yeah to a random question mark.
Although the coins do change the lighting effects on the wrist.
Yes, and I found out earlier today that every single frame of animation possible on the Blazar brace was done by one person.
Really?
Oh wow!
Jesus.
Oh.
How long did they working on it for?
Hopefully they paid them per animation.
Oh yeah. It was $20.
I will say
a
that one
frame.
thing I found funny was just we had a Drive actor wearing a brace that's very similar to Mr. Belt from Drive. So, but looking at the poll here, just go ahead and close it up after 38 votes. I'm actually surprised. 13% didn't care for Blazar. They're out. They're
Wow. Oh yeah, just in chat. Cosmic, I don't think they have any Blazar merch. I know which one you're talking about. For the pop-up shop. Also, everyone, New York City Tamashi Nations is getting an official permanent store in Times Square. If anyone wants to be an authorized user on my credit card, let me know.
You do know I live in New York, right?
Cloudy, my DMs are open.
I have made that very clear several times.
I was gonna say, I didn't
but
know if
Cloudy,
the
can you
public knew.
survive going to like
I
such
go
a crowded
outside.
space
I try not to, but I do go outside.
in not a bubble?
You got a portable bubble?
No,
Like
I
that
have,
movie? Was
I
that Jake
have
Gyllenhaal? You
bubble-
want to win $500? I want to win
yes, I have
$500.
multiple layers of mask. It's fine.
But even then, looking at the poll, the majority, 42%, said it's okay. They're still looking forward to it.
Yeah.
While 39% think it's amazing, they will continue watching. Only 5% decent, debating on sticking with it. So yeah, the majority of people seem more optimistic towards this, which is good, at least from a first impression episode.
Considering your audience is more Rider
Yeah.
Ultra Rider Sentai based.
And the thing is too, Ultraman,
that's
it's gonna take more than one episode to really like hook you in if you're gonna be like I could watch like the debut episode, like prime example, King Ozier. That first episode, I was freaking hooked. I bought merch. Same with Kamen Rider, but like Ultraman, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I've all the way back to Ultra Q to now watching so many series. I see the kaijus, I already know what to expect. So it's easier for me to get hyped for it. But for people who don't watch any Ultras at all, like it'll take like 2 or 3 episodes because they always, like with Decker and Trigger, like they can hook you in the first episode or 2. And then around 4 or 5 episodes in, that's with at least those 2 anyways, I kind of started to even fall out of it.
Trigger, yeah.
I would say
Trigger,
that I was not hooked on Decker with the first episode. I'm more optimistic about this show from this first episode basis than I was with Decker.
I would
will
say
say
this
that
definitely he's like I did say like I thought like obviously we had a lot of the beats for Ultraman first episodes, but this was definitely probably one of the better ones we've had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was. Like I said, even from a production quality standpoint, I'm like, I was like, they must be doing pretty good with international sales and everything for Ultraman stuff. Well, I mean, we've looked at the toy sale numbers when we compared them, and I was just like, yeah, they're definitely like the filming quality, even though they aren't like reinventing the wheel, it just crisp and
great.
clean, even for night shots. So I was like, okay,
that finisher was god.
And you can tell they didn't blow the budget on sets because they literally only had like 2 sets, and that was it. The entire like episode. So like obviously that saved a lot of money in terms of that aspect, but it let them just tell the story in the direction that they wanted to with this one. There's seed plants, the atmosphere is definitely there. We got shorts. Mark and I were both like, you see
oh yeah.
I was like,
she's here.
I was like, is the waifu war getting a new participant?
She would kill
It's
them.
like-
A new challenger approaches.
Yes,
Not even.
the new challenger is here. But yeah, I would say optimistic about it. Obviously, same time next week. I'm gonna have to go about it. But any other thoughts on Blazar before we let Sai go ahead and get some sleep, and then we continue on with superhero time?
We haven't. What does everyone think of the suit now that we've seen it in the show?
I've gone up. It's now like a B for me.
I've never disliked the suit, so I'm still a fan of the suit. Still a fan of it now. I just don't like it jumping around like Tarzan.
Oh, Maybe that'll
Weird.
stop.
It reminds me of like Justin from Turbo, like jumping around in the suit. It's a little weird.
I was saying the little kid from the Wild Thornberries.
Oh yeah, him. What's his name?
But the grunt's the same.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that could be a bit.
Oh yeah, TD.
I'm not gonna do Ultraman reviews, Mark. So you can go ahead and steal that bit. Just go ahead and.
Okay.
Listen, I don't do bits yet until I up the production value and get my new computer next week.
I mean, this was a very like military, like focused up, like action episode, first one. So I was like, you think the next one we're gonna start bringing the family in and like people's personal lives?
Well, yeah, because they got to introduce his wife and kid, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Next episode's going to be the formation of the team, though. I think episode 3 or 4 is going to really introduce the family dynamic more.
Yeah, because they're still not. We still don't have like that organization yet.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like that.
We don't have an episode count, right? Total, or are we just assuming it's going to be?
We're
like
assuming 25.
Yeah.
It's usually around the 25s. Yeah.
I hope I'd be surprised if it goes for like super mini series and goes like a 12-episode run.
Oh god, I don't want another Rube on our hands where we have 22 episodes.
Yo, it's like New Generation Ginga. No.
Stop it! Stop it!
There is one thing I'd like to point out with this episode, and I want to see if any of yous and anyone in chat noticed it as well. This episode, adverts notwithstanding, took place in real time.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? That was very cool. And a very distinct aspect, I think, for this first episode as well. Other episodes in the franchise come to mind that have toyed around with that idea of like this whole 24 style kind of thing, but I think this one executes it definitely the best, especially when it was intercut with vinyl advertisements and DVD promotions. That really sold it for me.
Oh yeah.
But there is one other thing that I think doesn't need addressing, but is just going to be a personal bugbear of mine. I mentioned in my personal video when Blazar came out that it looked exactly like Lion the Barbarian, and he acted exactly like Lion the Barbarian. And then this episode takes place entirely at nighttime against a crustacean kaiju with claws for arms, exactly like episode 1 of Lion the Barbarian.
And the girl with the rocket.
The girl with the rocket, like Lion the Barbarian.
Oh yeah, if you look at the scream with like Blazar's, oh my god, oh no, so
it's like it was uncanny, and I was just like, it was like, maybe about 3 people in the entire known cosmos will have thought that same thing as I did. But
I think like only one person in the chat understands what we're talking about.
It's worth bringing up for that.
You got Megadong and Lookman understanding what you guys are talking about right now. I'm just thinking of Blazar, but with the 24 like clock beating down as everything going on.
Yeah.
So
that beeping noise.
But one more thing, actually, I tell a lie. This is the last thing now. This show is directed by Kiyotaka Taguchi, who previously was the director of X, Orb, and Z. And those 3 shows, in a lot of people's eyes, are very good, for one. And also, the common consensus is that Taguchi, as a showrunner, does the best at being an all-rounder. Whereas you have people like Koichi Sakamoto, whose like big thing that he does the best is his action. Or the person who directed Rube, for instance, his best trait is his character dynamics in his shows. So, being that this is a Taguchi show, this is giving both me and a lot of people who know about the production staff confidence that this series is going to be an all-round consistent quality, which I think is important, especially in a series that's having as much of an international push as it is. So, yeah, hopeful. Really enjoyed the first episode, and I'm going to stop talking now.
Just like
Great.
that chat's being positive about Ultraman, like we got
because it's
in
not
there,
Decker.
Mega.
Mark,
they're like
stop.
Orb is great. I'm like, yes, we all love Orb. We all should.
Don't point it out. They're gonna start talking shit.
Listen, if they do, they know how
Oh, yeah,
to
that's
act.
true.
Okay. I wasn't here
Look,
last
it's
week
just because
last
we're
time I
not
shit on
talking about
Rita.
Decker.
Yeah,
Listen,
just say
don't worry,
Rita
I
sucks,
got
that'll
him.
shut him up.
Oh yeah, that'll heighten them up. What are you trying to do here?
The only way would be like new chick from Blazar versus Rita, and then if you guys
New
all
chick
vote
from
for
Blazar
Rita, you
wins.
know
She
you're
already
There's,
showed
the
there's
her
2
personality.
new chicks. There's going to be a second one introduced soon, so
Oh, yeah.
we'll
I
have
can't
to
do
have
it
the
too.
Blazar waifu wars.
Also,
Ultra
don't forget,
waifu war. The
one of them
Ultra waifu
has six-pack abs.
And the other one is a cosplayer.
It's true. So for those
So,
of you thinking
pick your
Ultraman
poison.
don't got waifus,
Why does everything I
became
watch have to
Damn.
have some level of a waifu? I can't even enjoy
Because
WWE anymore
it's
because we got
tokusatsu
mommy on
from
there.
Japan.
Oh yeah.
Life is horrible.
It's from
for me.
Japan.
Listen,
You
Blazar
can't- you
knew
can't.
what they need to do.
They knew their target.
I wouldn't even
demographic.
tell you Anime Expo stories. Those aren't allowed to be public.
You know, I was actually going to ask you about that once we were done with superhero
Yeah.
time. I saw some crowd photos that made me think, "Oh, this is a hazard."
Yeah.
So- All right.
Brag Grigio? No, never. No, please.
But yeah, no, this was
But yeah, overall,
Good.
yeah, I think the consensus is we're all pretty positive about this show. So.
yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait for all the YouTube videos everyone's gonna make all weekend about this because
yeah.
you said
And then
you're
I
not
can't wait for
reviewing
them to
it,
And
spin
but
then
around
not
episode
cover
3.
it after
Yeah.
episode 1.
everyone's gonna do episode 1 and then that's done.
And they
I might
That's
be
the
on
way
the
it goes.
like depending on how my video goes off, I might be one of those people. So
Right.
I'm
Destruction
not
X.
gonna be that
I
guy.
did a
I
tier
will, I
list
will
for
be hitting
Ultraman.
that refresh button on your video
Yeah.
endlessly. 7 hours
Thank you.
straight.
thank you.
To see it.
No, Destruction X. I did a tier list for Ultraman, and I still have people trying to tell me that like I haven't watched Ultraman because of how I ranked some stuff. So
Yawn.
yeah, I'm not doing another tier list for Ultraman ever again.
Just put Blazar in S tier, everyone will be happy.
Yeah, put Blazar and Zed in S tier, and then
Dude,
everyone's
I
gonna
put a
go
couple fan favorite, like people are getting mad because I put stuff in B or C, and I'm like, wow.
crazy. What did you put?
Like,
Geed in B tier? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you
No,
put
that's
Leo
A.
in
That's like-
B.
I think put the
You're
S.
like dead to me.
Wait, you put
Just
Leo
do a
in D tier?
bracket
I
fight.
forgot about that. Oh
Yeah.
my
Just
god!
do a bracket fight on just their little light up sensors. That's
Oh,
it.
you mean
That's all
the
you're
color
ranking
Oh,
toggle?
on.
yeah, that'll be neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just do a
Okay.
bracket off.
Oh,
We need to do a waifu war bracket.
it's gonna be pretty hard
That-
for about
that'd
6
be
of them because
difficult.
they're the exact same.
Why Mebius's color timer is factually the best one.
Exactly. Not just
Well,
because
it
he's
just depends
Mebius
if
and
it
my favorite.
wins the bracket.
of course.
This is how it's gonna go. It's gonna win the bracket off. That's
I'm
the
not
entire
biased.
thing. Anyway, I think that's it for our Blazar talk. Sai, you can go ahead and go to sleep.
I will. Wow, thank you for giving me
Night.
permission.
Oh, God.
He's like,
You
you're
may
so
now
gracious. Thank
You,
you.
you said you weren't
Thank
going to be
you.
part of superhero time, so you can go ahead and enjoy your
I'm
ultra
gonna go
rest.
now.
right.
Yes, I will sleep. Thank you for letting me be here, letting me out of my cage. And yeah. See you around.
Don't worry, it's only temporary.
Don't forget to plug me at the end.
I got you, Bam.
Oh,
I
well.
got you. I know what
Yeah,
your
We'll,
projects
we'll
are.
talk more on Discord when some more episodes come out too, because I'm curious who else is going to keep watching.
Yeah,
this,
he
'cause-
left.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
he
still
left.
saying in general. Who like are we going to talk about this every week, or is this like a part of
Probably
it?
I hope so.
considering that it's like
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
right
Right
before
before
these
it?
things
Okay.
are up, so I'm already glued
Yeah,
to
I have
my
to like
computer
a
anyway.
few like a couple of minutes early, but I'm fine with that if we.
I was streaming it to everyone in the Discord because you were watching it live anyway. So
Yep.
everyone
I'm going
was
to rank it
just-
out of pickles. I think I'm going to give it.
I
like
hate
4
that
out
I
of 5
watched
pickles.
it on my TV
This is like a
and not my computer to avoid like ruining my system resources.
That's
and my
what I
PC
did.
still crashed.
oh my god.
I was watching it on my
was just
PS5 on a
crashed
YouTube
earlier.
app, and I was like, "Don't want to crash the computer because this thing is
Yeah.
held up
Mm.
by dreams and like
And
allergy medicine."
Oh, this was definitely like at least a 4.5 pickle.
probably
fest.
cat hair if your
Oh.
cat's under the computer all the time.
Well, no,
Oh.
literally, I haven't. I'm using a laptop. I have allergy pill bottle, like
Okay.
holding the charger into it.
God.
Okay, I get it now. Okay.
Oh, you have the same problem as me. My phone exploded the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
finally got one. Came
like
in today.
like the old Samsung battery cell phone exploded.
yeah,
Actually,
like
it was
the,
a Samsung phone, but
tablets.
not like it exploded in my pocket kind of situation.
Someone had Google Chrome Incognito open on their phone.
No, so, sometimes listen, slime mom. I mean, okay.
Yeah, no.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to this week's.
Hero time starts now.
And I'm probably gonna get mad a lot at this episode of Gates because fuck.
So did the fan base.
Why?
So did the fan base at Kawa, so don't
Oh.
worry.
Yeah, look,
y'all don't
yeah, we're
peak
gonna
like
talk
peak?
about that shit.
This is pretty
like,
good.
After No, apparently, like they just don't like the turn K was turning,
I know.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
God, Twitter's gonna
Ooh.
Twitter. Like, it's
Really,
ridiculous.
they've been begging for this forever, and now that they've got it, they're like, oh,
That's the Japanese fans. I don't think we speak for them.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know anything going on Twitter nowadays.
I mean,
so
I don't know
it's
how
whatever.
popular Ryuga Sato is in like the Japanese market.
All right, so clearly, when we last left off, let me move Grimace over here. There we go. Grimace is going to be over here. This episode not brought to you by McDonald's and the Grimace Shake, which you still have 2 more days to get the Grimace Shake.
No, it's actually gone.
It's
In
gone.
New York. In New York, it's gone.
Here it says available until the 9th.
It's gone.
I
on
think it's
the
gone
East and
here
West.
too.
I guess you guys ran the well dry, but over here in Georgia, yeah.
Y'all ain't buying it enough.
Dude, more people are buying
I
it
guess
and
not.
filming videos than actually drinking it. Let's be real here, okay?
It's true.
I mean, look, I bought 2, and one was to just throw on the ground. And, so look,
How-
it's
How was the
they got their money. I spent $20 just to get the meal that I did not eat. I gave that to the fam. So
Save that for when Power Ranger Cosmic Fury toys show up at McDonald's.
Yeah.
we just buy it and then just spit it up, or like throw
Yeah.
the toys on the ground, like I did
No.
the shake.
Everything.
Oh, okay. Just smack the toy. Cosmic Fury toy.
Blend it all together in one horrible smoothie, then throw it out.
I'll be like those dudes that used to do those console breaks after the launches, like breakmyps4.com, stand in line all weekend, get the PS4 breaking in front of the people waiting in line. I'll do
They
that.
still did that with the PS5. It was hilarious.
Damn,
Really?
damn.
I'm surprised
I
they didn't
didn't-
try to attack the guy.
All right, so on to this week's Geeks, and this is why I hate episode previews sometimes, because it's like moments like this are just completely lost. You think, he did some damage, but of course we saw that Buffalo was fine in the preview, and he's fine now. So fine that, of course, Kay was just got to beat him in with the kick. Though, of course, you can see that the impact has already happened, but his head hasn't turned. So, really good timing we had here. Because, of course, he's gone through his villain arc, and, of course, he had to go ahead and kidnap up some Sumeri. Is this even gonna play? Perfect. Oh my. Because bondage fetish.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Gotta do it.
I cut that part out of my review
Damn.
because it got a little awkward.
I mean, this entire scene is awkward. Just having Kawa be. I can understand like some of the creepiness, but look, you can't blame the actor. Blame the writers. They're the ones that literally made the guy act like this. So once again, it's just like it's just the way that it is. But of course, now that he's got the goddess of creation all to himself, he wants his wish granted. But of course, having her in one place just makes Jito show up, because we've learned last week that it doesn't matter where you take Sumeri, as she's not like in the actual like confinement of the DGP subspace. Which look, it's another thing. Like Ace recreated the DGP subspace, or it was still there, and they've been using it as a base. But this week we see that they're still using it. Like the DGP themselves is also still using it. So it's like, why can't they just bust into the salon? I don't know.
That's my only issue, and I've been bringing it up, is I don't understand if Ace created this reality. How is he so oblivious to everything going around in his own reality he created?
I mean, it really negates a lot of the effect of.
It's like, how do you not know
Daichi's powers?
Daichi started his own game inside of Ace's reality.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if you restored everybody's memories, why did you do that, knowing that some people like Daichi had completely insidious plans against you?
It just
So it
could have been very selective.
This makes no sense.
Why not?
But yeah, it's here that Kawa says, okay, you can go ahead and finish making your goddess of creation as long as I get first dibs on wishes. And I've got my wish handy right here, which Jito goes ahead and says, cool, you got the deal. Meanwhile, we've got Daichi over here forming his own cult, being low-budget Ortega, Gracias Deadmans, here yet again. So he's just here gathering these fine folks because they just saw the broadcast and were like, you know what, this sounds like a good guy to go ahead and follow. So then he busts them with his seed and gets them all jamified. Of course, that's when Azuma shows up, but of course he only beats up a handful of them, but still lets them walk out. why? That's another part that I just found weird, was just the fact that he punches them, but they still escape out the back, and we don't really address them from there. They're just gone. But yeah, of course, this is where he goes ahead and explains his tree of knowledge and just being able to hear, well, to absorb the memories of the people that are fruitified. Which, did you guys hear the audio when I played the clip earlier or not? Like, did that play?
No.
I don't know. It's
Did
Chrome.
they play audio?
No, I did not.
Let me see something here. If it'll play or not.
I can't take him seriously with that face paint on.
Are we gonna
I
tell
know,
us
and-
that homeboy ate vine ripe tomatoes like just like what a
Just raw.
sociopath? No
Yeah.
salt, no pepper.
Nothing.
Like, didn't put it in an antipasta salad or anything like that. Like that is
Alright.
sociopathic tendency.
I just realized this, but if this tree and Daichi's evil Jamato nonsense still exists in Keiwa's reincarnated world, I don't know.
Well, it's not a reincarnated word. He just had his wish granted for people to return. So I feel like that doesn't actually change everything. It just brings
okay.
he's just bringing people back who lost in the DGP.
Oh yeah, the victims, right? Of the
I have to
DG.
Yeah.
open it like that.
But like,
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could play this with the sound, because I did include the clip that was in my my review, but I guess it's just gone. Needless to say, he eats it, and I play the Fall Out Boy song. Thanks for the memories, even though they
Even
aren't
though we're
so great.
Tastes like you, but almost
Yeah.
I had that in my head
Like,
when he brought up Sarah's freaking knowledge.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, as soon as I saw the scene play out, I was just like, wait, I know this song. Like, did they really just put a Fall Out Boy reference in Gates? So I was like, I had to do it. So yeah, pretty much just explains that Sarah's entire knowledge was useless to him outside of just like whatever he learned regarding her, which I guess is just all her innermost secrets and thoughts and things like that, and her skincare routine. Maybe he can wipe that shit off his face.
Dude.
But either way, that's when the premium toys show up with Beroba and Kekera showing up to transform into their new forms that are like, I don't know what to categorize these as, because they're not really Jamatos, they're not really riders, but they transform using rider equipment. So it's like, I don't know.
Jamato riders.
The irony that
Jamato
they
riders?
are called Premium Kakura and Premium Baroba the same day the Premium Bandai
Oh yeah,
version was announced. I'm like, you knew what the hell you were
the
doing.
limited time purchasing offer.
It's
No,
like,
and
you
the
knew
thing
what
is,
you
it's like that entire thing was stupid, because of course they're the premium VIP cards. They called them that,
Yeah.
last week when they introduced them. And then I found it weird they're not using Sueru's voice actor, the Laser Rays Riser and Vision Driver's voice to do this. They're just using the regular like Desire Driver voice to do this. And I'm just like, what was his voice actor like gone? Is that why we haven't seen Sueru? Because like dude's got scheduling conflict, so they were
He's
like,
working on a better project.
so yeah, we got to include this other guy, bring him back.
Dude, I don't like these. These designs have not grown on me. I like the green because that is a nice green, but I don't. They just don't.
I like Kikeras. I like Kikeras
I
way
like
more
the
than
face.
Beroba.
Have you guys ever seen what do you call it? Hurricaneger. There was like this shark monster of the week. Like that mask looks like almost beat for beat like it.
But either way, like I'm just glad that we got physical suits and it's not CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
But really hate the Memorial Laser Rays Riser for the sole reason of, you want those premium cards? The pre-order campaign's already over. It's too late now. You pre-order that shit right now, you ain't gonna get those cards.
Ha! Got
Like,
the cards.
That's the entire thing. That's the entire thing. They were like, you have to pre-order before July 5th. If you pre-order after July 5th, you're going to get the Memorial Laser Rays Riser with these cards, but you're not going to get the cards you actually want. And at that point, it's like, what's the point? What was the point of even releasing this if you were going to, like, literally cock tease us with these cards? And that was it. Like, the whole reason people want this is those cards.
Yep. That's why I got
It's
mine
like,
on
nah,
pre-order.
You ain't getting them.
It was a scam.
I was like, no, I already got the regular Laser Rays Riser. There's no point in getting the Memorial one just for additional sounds. There's no point. There is absolutely no point. So yeah, See, look at it from this angle. Like, you still don't like Kikera's suit?
I like it. I like the green. It's just when they first like. I still don't like Boruba's. Like I even said in my review, at first glance, did not like it. Kekura's grew on me. Boruba's no.
Nah, but Betabas just does nothing for me. Like, of course, you have the pink and the bluish purple like aspect going on there with the green. It's too busy. It's too busy.
Yeah.
With a lot of the color scheming that they got going on. So yeah.
If it was just two colors, like,
but yeah, so yeah, the thing is, it's like him using zombie was definitely holding his own until he was driven to a corner to the point that he pulled out the command twin buckle. And I don't know about y'all, but this is when I lost it. Like when I was legit watching the episode, I was like, the fuck? Are you serious right now? Are you legit serious? Where did this come from? Where did this? Can someone explain to me where this came from besides his ass?
Because
oh yeah,
Keiwa in front of all of them asked Sumari for a more powerful buckle,
and they all
she
said
had
no.
nothing. Then we find out Ace still has the Magnum buckle. Ichidaga still has the twin command, and both of them watched Keiwa suffer, beg Sumari for a buckle, and they're like,
Nah,
we ain't got shit for you.
Fuck off.
The other thing that's just completely dumb about this entire thing is he already had his power-up buckle, that fever buckle, that special goddess-granted fever buckle. And we've learned that those goddess wishes, even when the DGP resets, no matter if it's DGP, JGP, or whatever the fuck, those wishes stay. But for some reason, that one buckle is gone. But then he pulls out Command Twin. Like, it would have made more sense if he pulled out the other buckle, because then they could just say, yeah, the goddess power didn't really get rid of this. I was just waiting for a chance to use it. And then he probably still would have gotten bodied, and they would have just said, well, your powers only work against writers, not against us because we're not really writers. And they could have just used that, and I would have been more happy than pulling out Command Twin that has no business coming out.
You expect them to properly explain how the buckle inventory works after 42 episodes finally? No.
Plus, I'm pretty sure they scrapped that other golden horn suit because they got to use it to make his power up, whatever that comes in.
I mean, how much time does it take to craft those horns? That was literally the only real aesthetic change that he had was the
horns and the
that was it.
And the cape.
Yeah, and that's a cape. Yeah, I doubt they got the cape to give it to Keiwa. Because it's just a cape.
I don't think it's the same cape because like
either
the cape had sequence. This one.
Either
I'm
way,
tired of capes.
Look, the fact that the power creep in this episode just once again continues to make no sense because he was standing a better shot with them using zombie than using twin command. Like twin command at full power got bodied by Beroba and Kikera like nothing. And it's just like
it got swatted.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, what was the point? What was the entire point? It's like, okay, I guess they gotta like sell the command twin buckle toy. So they're like, look, we gotta clear up this inventory before it goes on clearance. So there it is.
I assume they were using it for like a power scaling. Like this is how powerful they are. Hey, remember Twin Command? How that held its own against, Glare 1? It's like, look at how easily they took it out. And I'm like,
and don't forget. Oh, sorry. Finish. Yeah. I was saying, don't forget that Twin Command also took down that one gigantic ass Jamato that even Keiwa and Neon couldn't do like at all. And
it was still Jamato at the end of the day. Like I assume like I don't know. I don't know the power scaling. Everything else doesn't make any sense ever. Like that's why I was like, you know what? He had a buckle. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if everyone else pulled out random buckles for like the rest of the 8 episodes if it goes to 50.
Well,
I'm over trying to figure it out, and people in my comments would be like, "Oh well, he didn't lose it. He had it the whole time," and I'm like, he hasn't used this in how long? Why would he have it?
People were arguing with me beforehand about like the fact that since the game reset, that's why he lost his old power up. But then I'm like, this happens. Where's your excuse now?
Because this was 2 games ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you can't, if you have that explanation for now, it has to be retroactive and work with all the previous arcs, and it hasn't. So
If we could just call it what it is, put a hat on a hat. It's lazy writing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it completely is. Unless like Toei was like, look, we got to sell these Command Twin toys, these Command Twin buckles, and all that stuff. So we got to get this suit back in there. But he does not hold it. Well, you've pulled buckles out of your ass before. You're right. We'll go ahead and do it. And that's probably how it happened. Toei and Bandai interfering per the usual. Meanwhile, we've got most important character in the show, Neon, doing things. She's doing so many things. Like these last few episodes, just sitting there. She's thinking. She's remembering Sarah. Like, she's remembering Sarah again. The second she sees the tree with Sarah's face on it, I bet she's going to run up to it and give it a hug. That kind of thing. Like, all these things. And then she runs into Keiwa about to join in on Daichi's cult. Just go ahead and get their ideals out the way. But of course, that's when Ace shows up and we have their clash of ideals regarding how Kei was just salty about the fact that technically, he didn't get what he wanted out of Mitsume. He didn't get Mitsume to repent for, stealing away all of the happiness that she's done, which I kind of like the ending wish. I've got questions regarding all that still, but
this made no sense.
It's here that he pulls out a special ability that apparently the button sword has, the ability to teleport, which is something that, I expected the ninja buckle to have, but, he's got it. So now we join Jito going ahead and bringing Sumiri over to Samas, where you're probably not going to hear the audio. Obviously, you're not going to hear the audio, but of course, she pulls out her gun and got a clip of her running away. And then I just used the R. Kelly clip from South Park of I just pulled out my gun. And then that's
premium gun.
Yes.
Because if you don't know the tier list, Gun Beats Goddess.
Oh god.
Look, this gun is just outrageously powerful. Like it could shoot producers and things like that. Like this is premium gun.
Well, remember they have to play by the rules of the era they're in. So I mean,
can't wait till we get this.
Yeah, I can't
that's
wait
premium
for
Bandai.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a Memorial Edition.
I'll pre-order
That's
it.
Memorial Edition.
I'm just so weirded out by these futuristic people resorting to using a gun.
Yeah. So of course, we got a $5 super chat. Let me go ahead and cue this thing up here. We got Bird of the End saying they really suck as his friends. Didn't even check on him after Sarah died. Probably would have prevented Bujin from being villainous. You know what would have prevented Keiwa from going down this path? Had they just given one of these extra buckles that they had laying around when he was actually trying to save Sarah.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the only person who visited him after Sarah's death was Michinaga. And even then it wasn't that great.
Michinaga could have given him like the twin command that he had up his butt.
He could have gave him zombie. He could have been zombie ninja.
Yeah, you could have been like, yo,
like, hey, I'm just chilling. They were in the lounge. They weren't fighting anything. They were just chilling.
Mm.
So it's like there is definitely, now that we know retroactively, like a lot of the things going on with these episodes make the past episodes worse just because of that aspect.
Kekra visited Keiwa after his sister died. Michinaga, though, that was standing there and he just punched him right in his face, and it was great.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got Graph for the $2. Well, there's that old saying, gun beats karate. So yeah.
Not in the John Wick universe.
Oh yeah, that's true.
When's he gonna say Henshin?
Oh, that's a crossover I need.
So yeah, back to peak cult action. I say peak cult. It's not peak cult action. It's just once again we get more followers again following Daichi, but this time, of course, Keiwa shows up. So he's got a bone to pick with Daichi because, of course, he is enemy numero uno, given everything that happened to Sarah. So, of course, that's when he transforms into his completely overpowered Jamato self. That the power scaling once again gets completely thrown off because, remember how Geats 9 and Tycoon with the ninja buckle were a little bit like struggling against this guy, and now all of a sudden Bujin's sword is able to stand toe to toe. Meanwhile, we see that I said this in my review, but Sumeri gets that Cloud Atlas white woman treatment, so she goes ahead and gets changed up into white woman status. Which I'm like, of course, if I have to explain the joke, it's like Cloud Atlas, good movie, but they had the same actors play different reincarnations, and sometimes they weren't the same race or the same sex that they actually were. So you got a lot of race swaps
Tom
and
Hanks
things
one,
going
wasn't
on
it?
with literally the same people.
Was that the Tom Hanks
It was the
movie?
Tom Hanks one.
Yeah, I remember that one. I only watched it once.
Tom Hanks,
That's all you needed.
Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Susan Sarandon. You had a lot of those folks in there. It's a good movie. It's
all right.
But yeah, of course, Bujin's sword completely bodies Daichi, but then afterwards he just goes ahead and blames it on Kikera. Like, look, it was Kikera that made me do this and got you to do all this too. Everything was Kikera's fault. Let's just go ahead and beat up on Kikera. And at the end of the day, it's still him that did it. And Kikera's like, bro, you ain't gonna about to like deter me from getting my entertainment. I just got peak Kamen Rider action. I've been building up to this. I've been letting this stew and cook this entire time. And you're not going to take this away from me. But then Geets goes ahead and ends all this. Of course, you know, y'all who were cheering for Daichi getting his ass whooped, sorry. Geets stopped all this from happening. And then we finally get the statuification until she remembers that she just wants to be by Ace this entire time. Still a little weird because I'm just like, wait, are you just accepting that like you've reached sister status, or like what? Because like you've just been giving him food and things like that. I've never really felt the relationship between them fully grow. It's just been like one-off instances of like either them just chit-chatting, but I never felt like proper emotional building between Ace and Sumeri to the point that she would feel the aspect of getting to this state of being. Like, yeah, maybe it's just me, but
they're just bad siblings.
That allows her to break out of the situation.
Yeah, they're just bad siblings. It's just weird because they haven't done shit. Pardon my language. Actually, no, fuck it. They haven't done shit.
Yeah, there's only been like a couple of scenes of them together. That's about it.
See, it just goes to show if Girori had accepted Ace as his son, none of this would have happened, and he probably would have gotten his own god powers.
Probably.
That's it. They could have been a very godly family. But of course, with her getting these newfound powers, Kay was there with his new wish, and they're gonna grant it. And the wish is, of course, to bring back all the falling DGP members back into the fold, including this guy, then there's another guy, Boar guy, and then lastly, finally gets to become a Kamen Rider.
They haven't said it's him, but it's obviously him.
It's obviously him. You say that, and it's going to be a fake out. It's going to be John and or Ben.
Oh my god!
They're finally going to get it. They're going to finally get
Penguin
it.
Guy. It's going to be Penguin Guy that died in episode 2.
Oh, Ginpen.
Old man Takahito finally is coming back, and he's going to get an upgrade to Gyago.
We can't say the two words I want to say together because it's bad for the algorithm, but I'm waiting for Japan to come back for specific reasons.
Oh, yes. That's special.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
gonna be. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, like that. Like
he keeps the heat in his backpack.
Oh yeah,
for reasons.
Listen,
look, Mark,
don't come.
Someone just needs to beat him up and tell him, look, just wish for new legs. That's it. That's all you need to do is wish for new legs.
Don't come to the DGP tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing is, it's like with this wish, one of my biggest issues, and this is once again it retroactively, unless they pull an excuse that Sumeri doesn't work on the same logic as Mitsume, but they established before that they needed people to die, and they couldn't bring back a ton of folks because they needed their deaths, or rather their happiness, to be gone in order to be able to grant these desires. But bringing back a massive amount of people like that, wouldn't that technically like siphon all of the wishes that were granted using the happiness? So I'm just like that in
You're
itself.
expecting
like,
that kind of forward thinking from Takahashi?
I'm
I mean,
just
really,
like,
it would work.
you established
it would
this.
siphon Ace because Ace is the one who inherited it. Sumeri was created,
Right.
so I feel like she would be like a different type of goddess since they kind of manufacture her for the sole purpose. Which is why, because I questioned it, because I was like, why is Jito with one vision driver by himself able to transform her when it took like a whole weird, awkward private search history reference for how they transferred Mitsume when they were all circled around her, looking down at her.
I mean, it was still one driver, it's just more people were around, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it was Suiru that was doing it before, which I would assume that he's got way more power than, say, Jito does, because Jito's process looked like it was taking forever to fucking do. Like he was microwaving a Hot Pocket or something.
True.
Like it just wasn't hidden right. But at this point in time, I'm just like, look, Geats so far, like the episodes are good. I just feel that everything going on is just too little too late. Because this entire arc of reviving these writers, we got less than 10 episodes left. We've got, if we're lucky, 8. But I doubt we've got 8 episodes left in the tank.
I'm guessing 6.
And I'm just like, this is a massive arc that should have been done way, way earlier. And I just don't think that they're going to flesh out all these characters. They're probably going to kill off the majority of them within the next episode or two, just to dwindle it down yet again, like when they had the Desire Royale, because Buffalo was just beating people behind the scenes. So before I get to your thoughts, we got another super chat, this time from Jam Cow. Theory, Super Fever Buffa could be gone because beating him was the challenger's goal during his DGP, destroying the buckle when they topple him.
Not really, because that was the ID core one, wasn't it? Where they had to collect all the ID core, ID cores. That was the main goal of the JGP when he was OP. Beating him was never a goal.
I think. Didn't he just team up with Geats?
Yeah, because that's the entire thing that Suiru was saying, was just like, it's just whoever reclaims the most amount of ID cores goes ahead and, wins the game, and they could beat out Buffa's hacks. But yeah, that never really happened.
Yeah, because the JGB never had like a true defined like winner, because the Grand End started, and then we got Geats taking on whatever DGP Glare number 52, while Archimetal was slapping around Buffa.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how I feel about these episodes, is just that they're tackling arcs that I wish they would have tackled way, way earlier. And right now it's like, yeah, this would have been great 10 episodes ago. But the thing is, it's like, we knew about this Cable Wish episode 12. I went back to look when we got the debut of him trying to make this wish or alluding to this wish, and it was episode 12. This is episode 42. It's been 30 episodes until we finally get a payoff to this wish. And I'm like, this is about to end. Like, this should have, like, if they could at least have cut off one of those previous arcs and make this be a thing like at the 32 mark, then that would have been like, okay, this is enough time to let all of this play out. Even though, given the way that Takahashi is handling things, it seems like he doesn't want an arc to last longer than 8 episodes in itself, because almost every DGP has lasted 8 episodes. Well, 6 to 8 episodes. I don't think anything's gone beyond that.
I feel like,
yeah, you were saying, Ash?
If you could cut out any arc, like you were saying, which one would it be to get this arc sooner?
Disaster.
Yep.
Yeah, Disaster.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because that literally went nowhere. It was to set up character development for Neon that still was never properly paid off. Okay, she was the Disaster, and they were like, okay, great, you're gonna get your comeuppance. Did not, because something interfered at the end of the game. That was dumb. It really only worked to set up Daichi, and I feel like, given Daichi's current arc, they could have also just like not had Daichi be a character. And given that they were setting up Azuma to kill Sarah to begin with, they could have just done that earlier with him killing her some other way. Like they didn't need Daichi. Technically, if you cut the Disaster arc and Daichi along with it, you probably would have gotten a fundamentally better show. If they had introduced all this stuff way earlier.
I mean, that's what me and Cloudy have talked about, because I've said in my reviews, I was like, these last, three or 4 episodes have been really good. Ever since Ace took over and started out like just very character heavy. Now we're finally picking up with the action, because I haven't said give us 3 episodes of just building up this world, but it's like this should have happened in the early 30 episodes. This should have been around 30, like 29 to like 33 is when this should have started.
Yeah.
And even then you could have modified the JGP stuff, took a Disaster arc out. You could have shortened the JGP, or at least made it a different pacing for it to set up more of the stuff. So it could have started 10 episodes ago.
It just makes me think that they just didn't have a plan for it. And they were like, you know what? Let's revisit that wish that we planted a while back.
The plan was some of the merch wasn't selling. So they're quick. Premium riders, please.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Japan's going to have some sporting events play out in the next couple of weeks. So Geats is probably going to be delayed for like a week or two coming up. Either that or it's ending sooner or get charged starting later. It's one of those, because if you know anything about superhero time, is baseball and golf typically delay superhero time for weeks on end. And apparently that's currently on the docket. I think it's going to be not next week, but the week after that these games start. So yeah, just be aware of that, folks. That's going to be a thing. But Cloudy, didn't get some quick thoughts from you regarding this episode, or how you feel about the arcs going currently.
Honestly, lately I've been enjoying the episodes. Like I wouldn't say like I'm in love with Geats, but I do like the past couple episodes we've been getting recently, mostly because I've just been able to like just focus on like what they're trying to do with their character growth, and the action scenes here and there have been pretty good. But overall, like, it's just the reason I think I've started liking it is because I honestly don't care anymore, because I've been beaten down by tons of inconsistencies, different plot holes, character motivations thrown out the window. So it's like at this point I'm just like, whatever's good, I'm latching onto it and just enjoying the ride.
Ash, what's you got any qualms with this current arc? Like, what's your thoughts?
I think what Cloudy said, I think I'm beaten down. I'm just along for the ride for this point. Gates has got its problems. Like I don't know how they're going to wrap up this KWA arc within like 6 to 8 episodes at least. Like, that's going to be the interesting part. But I think like I'm just Gates fatigued at this point. Like, I might go back and revisit the series and I'll have a different perspective on it. But watching it week to week and seeing how we're getting like KWA's heel turn so late into the game, when there's other enemies out there, this is probably going to get wrapped up in like either next week's episode or the week after.
I definitely think this is going to be better on a binge.
I can't wait for someone to just press the reset button, and that's how the series ends. Is like legit.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the middle of a lot of things about to happen right now. Now we're about to hit this reset.
We joked about that. We joked about that a while ago. We're like,
I still say
reset, and I'm just like,
right now,
I think the ending is hard reset.
There's no way they can wrap any of this up. If they do, it's probably going to be clunky. It's going to be muddy.
Or they're going to go the route where they're going to utilize V Cinemas to like give us post series like stuff like Trio Deep Sin and stuff like that. I don't want to talk about the revised ones because those are just weird.
Just like after like Outsiders is done, Takahashi needs to like take a nice 3-5 year hiatus, like get your mind like re-energize, and then don't come back to Rider. Go to another franchise. Like just
you want him taking over Sentai for a little bit?
Oh yeah, let's see him tackle the 50th anniversary season for Sentai.
Oh, no.
You know, and let him actually do a franchise that's designed to have a lot of characters versus him throwing in a lot of characters. Let's just try that. Let's
They're
try
gonna
that for
freaking
him.
Super Sentai season with like 15.
There, as opposed to he's gonna take Q Ranger, but then just make it like
He'll double it.
Ranger.
He does a Super
He'll
Sentai
double
Battle
Q
Royale
Ranger.
season.
It's gonna be
This Ranger
100
team.
Sentai Squadron,
Yeah.
Mm.
100 Ranger. I can't
5
wait.
Ranger teams.
What's messed up is
enter,
I'd watch
one
it
leaves.
too, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
It's like you just watch it every episode just to see them break the world record for most suit actors on screen. Every episode, they just break it. So, so just go through that entire thing. But look, I'm in agreement. Like the episodes are good, but my issue is like I was coasting the last couple of episodes because I'm just like, look, I'm just gonna completely shut my mind off. But then this episode just threw so many things that retroactively just made everything previously worse that I was like, I can't ignore this now. I just can't ignore this shit now. Can't ignore this twin command buckle being pulled out of your ass. I can't ignore like this wish finally being granted after 30 episodes. Like, nah, I can't ignore it anymore. I can't do it. So it Gates is God. I wish we could go back in time and just tell the people that were hyped up like around episode 16, look, this is the best it's gonna be.
It goes downhill.
It's never gonna get better than this.
It's not better than the first 16, but I will say this is not the lowest point in the show. Like I said, I'm still really enjoying it.
Well, yeah,
I
that's the
think it's on the
disaster arc.
upward swing. It's just how it's handled now. Because let's face it, with good storytelling and proper writing, hypothetically, it's 50 episodes, 8 more episodes left. It could still work if done right.
Yeah,
But the confidence isn't there.
I mean, who's the person at the helm is what's scaring me. Like that's just it.
I don't think he knows how to end it.
Plus, we haven't had a good freaking zombie buffa finish in so long, and he's had that buckle for like some episodes now. It's like no zombie hands coming out of the ground. I was like, no tombstone finisher again. I'm like, why are we not getting these cool?
They've just been slashes.
The budget's blown. The budget's blown, probably.
Like, since what his tactical poison strike is finished, it's not okay. It wasn't earlier in the show. It's not now. Give me what I want.
All right. So, any last thoughts on Gates before we move on to King Oger?
Still a missed opportunity. We haven't got a freaking video game.
Oh yeah,
they're done with these annualized franchises.
Well, I've been working on a Kamen Rider game video, and I was just like, man, I really wish we had like
the Geats Battle Royale.
At this point, I would just take Climax Heroes to come back. Like
that's what
just
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I like Scramble. I don't know what else does, but that would work for this because it's kind of like arena battle to an extent. But no, I'll just see how it goes. I mean, 43 is this weekend, so
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so on to King Oger. Oh, just got a sub. Thank you, Ivan Perez, for subbing to the channel. Okay, so now moving on to King Oger, where we get.
Nope.
he froze.
Do we lose them?
He froze again.
His soundboard is killing.
You know,
his
I'm
computer,
thinking,
and I can't control the slideshow.
Oh, God. I feel like he should just change it to Lord of the Show, like this episode did. Maybe that'll take up less energy.
Yeah.
All right, so while we were for Zia, like, not gonna lie to you guys, I haven't seen this episode. Like, I'm a little bit behind just
It's
because
pretty good. It's actually really good.
And
Yeah.
then computer issues, and Diablo 4 season 1 is starting in like 2 weeks. So I haven't really.
Are you ready for season 1? I'm gonna.
Oh, I am ready for season 1.
Oh God.
I'm level 50, and my friend messaged me saying, "How are you level 50? You're not finished with the storyline yet."
Dude,
Really?
I'm slowly
you
chugging
want to
through it.
You want to get some power level, and I'll power level.
We can get you there. I can.
I just
can help.
leveled my cousin up from like 15 to freaking
You can run some dungeons.
70.
I'm there on 50. It's just I'm slowly going for the story mode, and I get distracted with dungeons and stuff like that.
I get that. The story's good, so I get it.
Yeah, and I got the mount, so if I see like an event starting, I was like, "Oh, let me run towards that," and I'll like do that to get some gear.
Did you hear about the controversy with the game?
Which one?
You remember like how the people who beat it in that certain amount of time, like they were supposed to get their names and character names on like the statues. One guy who beat the whole game, got to level 100 with a druid, no less, right? Didn't get it.
Was
There's a couple guys like that. There was a ton that just didn't make it on the list.
that sucks. I didn't even try.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have the slideshow for King Osier. So in the meantime, because I can't, I'm gonna show off some King Osier toys because I got new toys in the mail.
Oh, did you get the knight?
I got the mini pla.
Oh, sick.
For the
Oh,
Legends
nice,
guy.
nice.
Does it combine with the other one?
Yes, it does. You could actually combine them.
Oh,
So
snap.
I have a second King Osier to build, so I can have regular Legend. They just announced Spider, and it's coming with all the auxiliary shoe gods. So it comes with like
that's
the
pretty cool.
chainsaw and the cicada one, but it also comes with the snail, the pill bug, and new adapters and this and that too.
Oh, that must be
Scale King Osier because some of them aren't to scale for the show. Then I got all the Udos.
Oh my
Nice,
god.
nice.
Yeah. So they have it at L's Udo 2 set 2, but I assume it's gonna have obviously Spider. It's gonna have probably grade form. I don't know what else. I'm hoping our Commander Ant. I want some of the villains in there. Probably Death Narok. I don't know how
We're probably gonna get.
They don't release them like Sotos where you get like a set every month or so. You
Yeah.
usually get 2, 3 at most. You'll get one minion, and if there's a major boss form, you'll get that, but usually you don't. Usually it's just the team, their upgrades, and that's it.
We may get one of the generals that don't have like their name ending with the gimmick. Yeah.
I just want the Ant one. But yeah,
I know.
I plan on building those on stream. As
I
Zeo
was
comes
about to
back
ask.
because he killed his computer with the soundboard.
God dang.
But luckily, we still kept it on the
Look, I'm never playing that sound ever again.
I made a
Oh,
joke.
really?
I was like, you blew up your computer with it.
No, I have
Oh god.
I have no idea what's going on. I think it's a Windows update. I did recently do a Windows update, but for some reason, every time I do a Windows 11 update, this always happens.
Why do you update your Windows?
I don't. I have it disabled, but for some reason, it sneaks on by.
You gotta stop that.
Yeah,
I Windows 11. I fucking hate Windows 11 so bad.
so I never upgraded to it, and when I
still have Windows
accidentally
10
did, I rolled
right
it back.
God,
But if I could, I'd go back to 7 Ultimate if I could.
everything is still booting up on the back end. So yeah, you know what? Let's just fucking talk about the episode. I'm not even gonna do the recap.
You want to just?
I
want to
already
freeball
I
it?
already let it feel that I didn't
Alright.
see the episode because I had such a busy week and stuff. So spoil away. I just
You
showed
missed
off
the Himino wig. We got a new one.
I just showed off King Osier merch, the new stuff I bought while you were
We
gone.
do have a new Himino wig. I do have pictures of that.
Yeah,
That's all.
It's brown.
it's
It's
brown.
brown.
Yeah.
It's like it's a darker brown, which I kind of like.
I would say like this episode was all right. My biggest issue with it was the fact that we've had all this build up to a rematch between Gira and Miraculous, and I felt that the fight there wasn't no fight. It wasn't a fight.
It was a beatdown and then another beatdown with just a mech.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't like when he formed the King Osier Extreme, and literally Miraculous was just there like looking dumb, like, oh my god, I can't control this thing. Like just trying to fight back in the most half-assed way I've ever seen. Like he couldn't even control like the cockpit in general. And I was like, what is this floundering that he's doing right now? It wasn't great.
I would say the best part of the show was definitely like the character dialogue and between everyone, because that was like we got a lot of payoff and a lot of good moments in this episode for sure.
Yeah, the best part for me was really Dubowski finally, like, we find out what he was cooking this entire time and how far back it went in terms of what he was planning to do, which was steal the King Osier Zero to try and usurp the power away from Miraculous, because he knew as long as he had that trump card, then, you know, everything was in his favor. So it was like, let me skew the odds towards Tofu, and all it takes is controlling this. But then it turns out that the way to control the King Osier Zero was actually using the Crown and Lance combination, which of course is something that was never mentioned before, even indicated. They literally just pulled it out this episode. And I was like, I wish that they would have like properly seed planted this previously, but no, like the whole thing about the crown just coming out of nowhere, the lance and everything just seemed literally like out of nowhere. Like there was no
Did we
build up
get
to
another
it.
one of those Rackley's special
No,
episodes yet? Or
Not,
no.
No.
I
It's
feel
like-
like that probably is where it is, and they probably
it's
just
like
did it-
next Sunday, I believe, is where it's at.
Yeah, I feel like
So-
that probably is where that information might be, and then it should have came out like last week.
Shifting people around musical chair style. There we
Okay.
go. But yeah, Ash, what did you think about what was the highs, what was the lows? How'd you feel about it? And
Ooh.
yeah.
Highs. It's been a while since I watched the episode. Highs. I guess like the oh shit. High was seeing the power. Like I don't want to say the power up was a high because we learnt about it ages ago, and we talked about it last week where Geara's is too golden, but Raculus has still got like the silver outputs, and I feel like they should have done that with Geara. So I guess it's kind of a little bit of a low. Not a bad power up design. I'm sure that we'll probably see the other Rangers use it throughout the show because I'm guessing it's a shared power up because Raculus, unless he's spitting lies, which he does, he says that that everyone, like if you're royalty, you can use it. So
Well, he said that only descendants
king of
of
Shugadam.
of the first king. And since
Maybe,
they've
okay.
so far as we know, the only ones that are blood royalty would technically
Can use
be would be Gira, Raculus, potentially Himeno, and potentially
what's his
only
name?
Himeno.
Yep.
Or
No,
Jeremy.
no, don't forget Jeremy. Yeah.
Jeremy,
Jeremy
yeah,
and Himeno are like the only ones that, well, Jeremy for sure, but we don't know if it's just goes back to the original king of Shugadam or is it the heroes, but I think it's implied to be like the first king of Shugadam.
right,
So,
okay.
so the others
been a
would
while.
be null and void when it comes to all that. But the thing that he says in this episode is pretty much that it's two things. It's that plus being identified as the true king, which is a thing that throws me off because true king kind of implies like singular, but both him and Gira can use it, which is where I think there's like something's up in terms of that. But real quick for Mark.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
I
go,
don't know how I
Mark.
feel about that. I don't know.
I like it.
I mean, it's a nice wig, but like, she's worn better. I think this is a bad screen. Like the facial expressions, kind of like it's like lemon. Like
it's like look at the end, we're probably gonna end up having like a Himeno wig off and see like.
Oh yeah, no, I'm ranking. I'm doing a whole tier list of the wigs. I'm already saving photos from every single time, and I'll make my own tier maker for it. And I mean,
I'm hoping. I'm sorry if I cut you off. I'm hoping Ranger Wiki. So you go.
No,
as all
I was gonna say,
like just
yeah, that's what I was gonna make the same reference and just go through and like how sometimes they'll have the different forms you can click through. It's just all the wigs.
Yeah, on the wiki. Yeah, like I'm hoping they have that. Okay, we're on the same.
That's where I was going. Actually, I was gonna be like, we go.
Be great.
Yeah, I may have to submit that and make it myself.
Battle wig.
Yeah, so let me just quickly click through all this stuff. So of course we get the major flashback where Gira remembers that Raculus implied that the crown is the founder's crown and how he has hopes and aspirations to be like, you know, a real top role model, like the best king ever in terms of like the goodiest of good guys there for the people, that kind of thing. Of course we see that current day Raculus is nothing like that, but of course we'll get to that in a little bit. And of course Jeremy gets degraded down from main character status down to side character after the shit he pulled last week. So you don't just force a transformation like that. The thing that gets me when Dabowski gets caught and then Suzume shows up, of course, since we know and has him act like a bug, is this little gear right here? Because I'm just like, ooh, were they seed planting that all the way back from the beginning? No, I went back to episode 1. That shit's not there. They legit just threw that shit in there. I was just like, has that gear been there the whole time? Let me go back and analyze, and it's not there. So yeah, they literally just threw that in for this episode. But that gear is what holds the crown and the spear underneath, and that's where Raculus has been hiding it the entire time. So, but this is the part that I just found awkward, is he's controlling the King Oger Zero, but then he just has the crown in the box. I'm like, what? You transformed it there before. Why aren't you just transformed wearing, like, piloting it? Like, why do you have it in a box? It's just weird to just have.
If you think that's weird,
I did a memorial edition of that crown.
Weirder.
I'll wear it on stream.
Oh, because I don't understand how there's one in the cockpit and one that Gear's wearing when he used it later.
I guess it's just the way that it. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
All right, I haven't seen that episode. Does that staff really look that cheap in the episode?
What's that? The spear? Yeah,
the spear. That looks cheap as hell.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah something.
That looks like the Walmart lightsabers you get when you just go like that and they extend out.
I'm still gonna buy it.
I'm not gonna play the sound effect because I don't want my computer to crash. I'm not gonna test it. So, Lord of the
I was
blah blah something for $5 says, doesn't the jingle say "You are, I am, we are the King Oger"? So maybe that's why they can both use it since they're both descendants. But I don't know. Well, that's the thing that they're gonna have to explain in some way, shape, or form. The thing is, like, the crown accommodates for every color, and even on the back part of it, it has a white jewel that even accounts for Jeremy. So it's just like, yeah, they had that thing like going far back. But of course, the Lebowski was in the cockpit the entire time, holding Raculus's shaft the entire time as well, and then goes it to penetrate the ring. But first, it's like he explains his entire story that he was cooking up the entire time. Like, we found the King Oger Zero. He tried to pilot it, wouldn't budge, didn't do shit for him. So then, like, he was trying to figure out where it was. He sent a note to Suzume to see if she could figure it out. Apparently she did. And that's where, like, the entire kicking towards the chair happened, because she was pointing him towards the lock. And it's then that we find out that he was revving up those fires because he was definitely cooking up something this entire time, taking the crown and giving it straight to Gira because he knows that he can't use it. Pretty much Raculus tells him, you got to be true king, you got to be blood. So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to bother wearing this. I'm just going to give it to somebody that I can almost guarantee can wear this. And Gira transforms, and it's the most awkward transformation ever for me because I don't know about you, but this pose just wasn't doing it for me. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I saw the clip on Twitter, and I was like,
y'all went goofy.
Gross.
So yeah, transforms into it, and then we get King Oger Extreme. Giant Clusterfuck Mech is here. And pretty much the fight is nonsensical because it's once again just Gira explaining how Raculus is nothing like how he used to be when he was a kid. He's a complete contradiction of everything that he said that he stood for when he was younger. The thing that's awkward for me this entire scene is just they swap places. Like, why would they do this? Like I don't know why they would superimpose like young Gira behind Raculus and then young Raculus behind Gira. Like, they knew that they filmed this ahead of time. So why did they do this? And I'm starting to think that this was maybe not an editorial error. And maybe they were just trying to allude to something more here. Because I started crafting a whole new theory just because of this scene alone. In terms of what they show here. But of course, he just hits him with the beam spam. And yeah, it literally just goes beam spam and he's beat. The end. That's the fight. That's the fight. And then we find out that the Bugnarok took over Shugadam while Raculus was away. And that was King Oger this week.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's my reaction. I'm sorry. That's just, I haven't seen the episode, but everything that the breakdown, I'm just like, the hell happened to this show? I was like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like
behind, and I was hyped, and now I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, this was definitely the weakest episode thus far for me.
Yeah,
because for a power up form, typically, like when you get mid-season power up, it's
They're
usually hype. Yeah,
I liked Zed Kaiser's. That was like insane because like I was still watching Zed Kaiser when that happened.
And even Don Brothers, like we got like the jisms all over. Like it was great. We got the juices. We got the juices from everybody all over Taro, and then he just becomes Goldon, and like it. But over here, it's just like, here's a crown I pulled out my ass. Oh, you're stealing my crown. Shit. Oh, now he's putting on the crown. Okay, we're gonna fight. Ah, beam spam. Got him.
Wait, all I can get from that is like, I feel like they're just planting a seed that this isn't the real Rackley's. Like maybe he's like
That's the thing.
captive somewhere, and like
No,
where
he's
it's
got to
like
be the
crown.
real Rackley's, otherwise he couldn't use the crown.
They
No,
could use his DNA.
unless my theory now is that he potentially could be Gira.
Yeah, they swapped.
Yeah, that, or rather that the thing is, it's like he kind of implies that like you don't understand that things change, and I'm just thinking there's always been this trope, and they do it in like if you think of Dragon Ball, how the original Namekian had to cast aside like part of himself to be able to ascend the Kami. I'm thinking maybe in order for him to ascend to get to where he wanted to be, he had to cast aside his innocence, and that kind of took shape in the form of Gira that we see now versus the Rackless. Because one thing that I've started really noticing is since Gira likes to play up the role of the Tyrant King, Rackless literally is the Tyrant King. And when Gira does like his whole maniacal laugh last week, when we got Rackless's entire maniacal laugh, it's the same way that Gira does his. I'm just like, no, there's too much going on here. And then that overlap that they had in there, I'm just like, nah, I'm thinking like original Rackless, something happened, and then young Gira had to like take the L and just realize, no, something's got to change. I've got to become what my brother couldn't do, and to do that, I'm just gonna take up his mantle.
What about other way around, Zio? What if something happened to Gira that made Rackless like that? And then
it's completely possible. The thing is, like Rackless, from what we've seen, when Gira was revealed to him, was just like, that's impossible, he's dead type thing, and with like a whole like he's sure of it type aspect. So it could be one or the other. It could be that actual Gira did die, and this Gira is some sort of manifestation of that younger Gira, or it could be that Rackless is Gira and he considers the part that he casted aside as being dead. Hence why when they were like, this is Gira, he's like, that's impossible because I'm Gira. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That type of thing. So it's just like, that's the only thing that I really got from this episode in terms of lore wise, or potential like seed plants that we've got going on, because otherwise the episode was just all right. It was definitely not a standout, but I do feel that all the buildup that we've had towards this rematch was just wasted in a way. So
I feel like the rematch was like, because we talked about it when it first happened, the first time they fought, and I was like, if they're gonna fight again, but I was like, they set the bar kind of high. This was actually a good fight. Like
that was actually
they're
really
gonna
good.
have to put a lot of effort in topping it.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like we know that the action directing has been great in the show thus far, but then just them taking it to the larger size and then having King Oger Extreme, as large as it is, King Oger Zero is still a CG mech. So it was once again physical suit fighting CG suit, but they just hit him with like the rapid punches and the beam spam. So I didn't even feel like that dynamic of a fight to begin with, as opposed to when they would have the King Oger be rendered in CG. And they actually gave us some really good fighting going on with all that stuff. I wish they would have gone that route, because it would have allowed the suit to maybe do more, move more than what we saw this episode. So it just really felt underwhelming when it comes to that aspect.
And honestly, we have to take in the specials for the Rackley's, and because I was thinking about it just now. I was like, well, he cut his hand with the blood to activate the Oger Caliber Zero, so technically he can't be a Bugnarok or a clone because he'd need his DNA. So now I'm like, crap, what could it be then? I'm not going to theorize anymore.
Well, I mean, he could be a clone. He just couldn't be a bug.
Yeah, he could be a clone because it's all royal blood. It runs on royal blood.
I really want clones.
Which is part of the reason why I feel that Gira could also wear the crown, because once again, blood relation, they're technically, it could work. Which is why Dabowski was just like, yeah, clearly this is not going to work for me because I usurped the previous guy and he's probably not blood related or anything like that. So it doesn't matter. So things like that. The only way that I can see the other King Ogers getting a power up like this is if Yanma, like analyzing the crown, manages to reverse engineer it and make something for everybody else. That's the only way that I can see it working in terms of bypassing like the parameters that Rackulous stated on there. But we'll
It's
see
just a
when we
court
get-
jester hat instead of a crown.
Oh my god.
Everybody gets a different crown. Everyone gets a
Ah.
different style crown.
Himeno
Humano
gets a
just gets a different
tiara.
wig. Power up.
Himeno gets a tiara because she's the queen.
She
Lincoln.
gets a wig outside of her helmet.
Ah,
Oh my
That's it.
god. Don't put ideas in
a
Mark's head.
diamond crest.
No, we're gonna pull
wig.
a Battle Fever J.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get a Miss America.
Am I the other one out here? I think I'm the only one that I truly enjoyed this episode. Like,
I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but
yeah.
I don't know.
Like I thought it was okay. Like
Yeah,
I
the thing
enjoyed
is,
it.
I thought it was good. It's just the issue with it really just stems with the high bar, and for a power up episode, it felt underwhelming for a power up episode.
I guess I wasn't looking at it through that lens. I was just like, just another episode of King Odra. I wasn't going in like super hyped or anything. I because like I liked we got the Deboski payoff, and this may be a small thing, but like that like moment when Gira tells them about like the flashback and explains the crown, but doesn't explain like that personal aspect until he talks to Raculus. I thought that was also very a very nice touch, especially considering like, it shows like how much no matter how much he still wants to beat his ass, he still cares about his brother enough to like keep that a secret.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we'll see as this show goes on, but it's once again, I'm hoping that it doesn't start going like the Yeats route where we start getting like progressively more and more like just they're all right episodes, like that type of thing. Like we're just like, it's okay. It's not as good as like the first arc that, came out the gate swinging, but it's all right. And then after a while, it just starts becoming like, what are they even doing right now? I'm hoping we're not at that turn for this show.
I don't think so, because this has only been one episode. It's only been one.
Yeah, it's only been the one. We'll see how it plays out next
I'm
week
still
with the Bugnarok going on. I'm cautiously optimistic, but Reiwa in general has just been very like
Up and down.
Yeah.
It'll start off great,
Good.
but then
Luckily, I haven't seen a lot of Super Sentai, so
But see, I will say there's one.
I'm not too disappointed where this show has been so far because I don't have that track record of personally watching the shows as they air to be like, oh no, this is good. It's like, okay, well, I mean, I'm almost to the point where I've made it. I'm only one episode behind, but like I'm almost about to break my record for most consistent like watching Super Sentai while it airs. And like I said, I can't speak on this episode, but I've actually really been enjoying it. Obviously, Himeno's been helping that. My wife has found out about my simping for Himeno.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
No, she was just like, "Is this like yeah?" She's like,
This is what it is.
Look, I do
Is
gotta
this
say,
the woman I hear you talking about online in that room?
Yeah.
I will say that Suzume this episode, like she just came out with like that power and sass that I was just like, I'm gonna need this sip this week. Like this is definitely like she doing something this week. Like at first I was like, man, get out of here with those chapped lips. Now I'm just like, yes. You
I
won
feel
me
like
over.
they wasted the potential of like the big general that they were hyping up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dygorg hasn't done shit.
Exactly, that's what I mean. He beat
He's
up Yama
grunted.
and then he swung his pickaxe once. And it blew everyone away, but that was it.
Yeah, and then
Then he got mad at
Raculus
Raculus.
bodied him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Raculus beat him up.
That was like the only thing not the only thing, but like other than the fights, like that was like my big like, wow, you had a really good enemy you could have debuted the power scaling of this form to, and you didn't use him. Like if we didn't get a Raculus fight at the end and instead got a fight with him, that would have been way better.
The only thing that I can think of is that Dygorg might secretly be smart, and he was like, pretty much the reason why they took over Shugadam was because he just hated Raculus's attitude. This episode was just like, oh, you're just gonna show me up like that? Okay, let's see who's gonna watch over your kingdom while you're away, bitch. And then just goes over there and just and that's the reason why like the Bugnarok took over while he was busy, was because Dygorg was just out there like swinging that pickaxe.
Smashing,
True.
So I mean, we'll see, because like Death Narak was standing right next to Dygorg, like as they said that they just claimed Shugadam. So all of that was there. Let's see. Are we going to see more Bugnarok generals? I hope so, but we'll see in terms of how that goes. All right. So any other thoughts on King Odra before we move on to some online harassment?
Shenanigans.
Shenaniganery.
I'm both the Power
shenanigans.
Ranger front and the Toku front. So
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
all right. So Ash, I saw you talk about this. I saw Dawson Ryder talk about this.
Oh yeah.
And this all came about because you asked Simon Bennett on Twitter a question.
I caused this.
Yes.
I caused this.
Wow.
Oh my God! Let's
Good
go,
job.
Deoxy causing drama. Let's do it.
Yeah. So
Maybe we should
what's
do
the
a
deal?
PR
You
drama
care
channel.
to explain what the situation is?
All right. So flashback to about a week ago. Simon Bennett, because of the whole Cosmic Fury stuff, people hating on it before it's even out. He's doing something called Toxic Positivity. Weird name. I get what he's trying to do. Sort of, kind of. Pookie works in mysterious ways. But he said, "Oh, here's several." I might have the tweets up. Do I have the tweets up? I might have deleted them. Give me 1 second. But what he did is he said, "Oh, here's some things to look forward to when Cosmic Fury airs, such and such and such. These reasons, like no more comedy duo, no filler, no moral of the week, stuff. And then the big one within that thread was new voice actor for Lord Zed. So I asked him, I was like, what do you mean by new? And then he said, oh, Andrew Lang, who played Lord Zed in Dino Fury, he got a lot of online harassment, so he quit. And I feel like it just spiraled out from there because I was not expecting Simon to answer. I thought he'd be like, oh, I cannot confirm or deny with what's going on right now. Stay tuned to find out. But yeah, he went straight out. But when he said that, like, it was like positive, saying, oh, that sucks that happened. But then I think I didn't expect it to blow up that much. When I asked the question, like, I thought he wouldn't even respond to me, but he did, which was kind of crazy. And I think, like, I guess he's even deleted his Twitter for the second time, so he's kind of like moved.
Yeah, he's on
packed
Threads
out to
now.
left.
And he's still
He's on
running
Threads
his
now.
mouth. He's running his mouth on Threads.
Oh, I
still.
saw.
Me and him
Saying we're
been having
doing the Muslim.
conversations on Threads publicly because there's no DMs.
Wow. Yeah, so God, the fan base is just getting crazy. And the thing is, I didn't even know about this. Like, of course, I didn't know.
People looked into it. No one could find this obnoxious amount of harassment towards the voice actor.
Yeah,
Maybe they all mailed him things.
Did
privately.
they like DM him? Like,
I don't know.
His
Because
DMs open or something?
I thought he did really good in Dino Fury, and a lot of people actually were positive about him doing the voice of Lord Zed.
Yeah, he, like, I think it's the filter people didn't like, from what I've heard. Like season 1, the voice was like a little bit weird because it was like new Zed voice actor, but then he got better in season 2. I'm thinking, like, what my tinfoil hat theory is, maybe it was on Instagram, but I understand there's a lot of MMPR, like Robert Axelrod, original voice actor for Zed. A lot of people like love that performance because that's what they grew up with. So a lot of people aren't going to like that change. So I can understand if there was some MMPR diehards, but like Mark was saying, purists. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But like Mark said, I can't find anything on about this. And Campbell Cooley's been wanting to talk to me ever since I dropped the video. So I don't know if I'll be allowed to reveal what I shouldn't say that. I might get Campbell in trouble. But yeah, Campbell wanted to talk to me about it after I posted that video, and I've been busy with work all day, so I don't know if it's something I can discuss publicly or privately. But yeah.
Just let me know. It's fine. I won't tell anyone.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's like, I can understand some people that are purists towards like the original like voice of Zed, and I get that, just because of course I grew up with the original MMPR. But another thing is just like, I've realized it's been 30 years, and when you're already old voicing someone and you're older now, like, come on, like, you can see Mark Hamill struggling with the Joker. It's like sometimes it just don't work.
Yeah.
True. But also the fact that it might have been Facebook. Now I think about it, because PR on Facebook is just a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah, fuck yes.
Like, I don't even mess with that. I don't mess with any fandoms on Facebook because
I've seen those group
but
chats.
Isn't Threads just an offshoot of Facebook?
It's siding with your Instagram account, and it's still all meta. No pun intended. That is actually the name of it. But yeah, no, I looked because I was gonna make a video on it, and I saw Ashes, and I was like, let me dive into this. Where like Power Ranger subreddits, I mean, it's just normal stuff. Oh, JDF's overrated. Oh, people are milking this. People complaining about toys and Hasbro and how there's the merch sucks. That's usually just and people complaining about, theme songs. Twitter, nothing negative about Lord Zed. Honestly, where like people are like angry. Some people are just angry that Lord Zed is in Dino Fury, but nothing really about the guy who's doing the voice. Instagram, not much, but it's so tough because like, dude, it's so much easier to post on there. There's like shit everywhere. But Facebook, I didn't even look at Facebook because I was like, there's no way I'm going on that dumpster fire because there's like thousands of pages on there for Power Ranger, and every single one is just full of people who are just obnoxious.
I can't even imagine. Like Facebook was like the first social media I quit like over 10 years ago.
That was I haven't used it in ages.
So I can't even imagine how that community is. If I already thought like Twitter was bad, I can't even imagine how bad like that would be.
But at the same time, it's Simon, and listen, I have had no negative interactions with him. Actually, most of our interactions are us talking about Broadway musicals and plays and like early 70s production on like shows. Like we actually don't talk Power Rangers at all. Whenever we have had conversations, oddly enough, because I don't want to talk Power Rangers all the time with everybody. But he does fabricate a lot of stuff sometimes. He does overread. Like I honestly think he deleted his Twitter because they were just like, listen, like shut your mouth. Like you talk too much. You don't see any other producers of any other shows, any other franchises, any other fandoms. Like there's a difference between peeking behind the Wizard's curtain was like,
and then opening it up, like,
and then just going out of your way. It's like when it was like, oh man, what did you eat today? Well, I don't really like carbs. Then you're going into like your macros. It's like, no, you could have just said I had eggs. And he just, sometimes he says some stuff that I don't think are accurate. It could have been a contract dispute. It could have been anything. What's these? Oh, online harassment. Because we've seen it, and I don't want to put the table with a lot of other fandoms where people are claiming over amount of harassment, and that's why things get changed or canceled, or why people leave. When really it could be something as little as wanted more money, wasn't available. But what's the easiest thing? You can't pass the blame to the production team or the voice actor.
So the people
negativity online. Yeah.
Although my thing is, you guys know more about the Power Rangers community than I do. Like, are the purists?
No, that said, I wish I didn't, but I do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But like, are the purists even that bad? Like that uptight about like someone even replacing a voice actor? Like, I know it can get that bad. But is it really? Does it go to that level of harassment?
Go look at all the once and always stuff.
I don't.
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't.
I mean, I can't imagine people my age being that petty. I just can't.
Zio, really? Yeah. Oh my god.
No, like really, like this is like
how
it's a franchise.
How petty am I?
Zio, look, you have proof right there.
I'm super petty.
Yeah.
The other thing is just like I'm one of those people that's just like I'm like, as much as I love the MMPR and getting me into this franchise, it's like I'm not one of those that's like keep giving me all that stuff. I'm just like, look, move past that shit, please. Like it's just other stuff.
To me, I'm just like, it's okay to love your fandom, and especially like you love the first show you got into, but like there's a point where like your love becomes this vile hatred that you're spewing out to other people, and it's like that's not gonna make people like the shit that you like. That's just gonna make you seem like a dick.
And I was guilty of this. I was like this with the Doctor Who and the Star Wars fandom. And I was like, you know what? I'm becoming like that douche. Like, I left the fandom. I was like, I don't want to be that guy. And I saw myself.
He doesn't like the fourth Doctor. I'm canceling this man on Twitter right now.
Look, I don't want to invoke that Doctor myself. So
yeah, but no, there are people like that.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying, when JDF died, it's closed off now, but there was this open Facebook group, a conspiracy theory investigating what actually happened. And like they wanted to like get information from the hotel. There was a guy, and I fucking love, like, they were so fucking delusional. There was a guy saying, "Oh, I'm just going to get a job at the hotel, and I'm just going to go in there and look at the security cameras and find out what actually happened." I was like, "Yeah, it works like that, buddy." But yeah, there's like a lot of people who like harassed his like ex-wife at the time, wife, and they said that she was the cause of it. Like weird conspiracy nutters, like with the MMPR.
Yeah, I was
purists,
watching
like,
all the
they were asking
videos
his
that were
daughters
dropping.
too.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
crazy.
I think they're still doing it. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these people need to be conscious that they're self-aware that there's a line you do not cross.
Yeah,
Real quick,
yeah.
we got Killer Queen asking, just ask who's more broken. I'm guessing who's more broken, Oma-Zio or Lord Draken.
We're talking current Draken after the coinless, or are we going like Shattered Grid Draken? Because those are two different
Shattered Grid
iterations.
Draken broke reality. I haven't seen Zio, so
Oma-Zio is basically same thing. He's got the ability of every writer that's ever existed ever, and every writer that will ever exist ever.
When all he needed was the ability of Blade, and he would.
And then he just reset the world at the end of his show. He was just like,
yeah.
So
Sorry for
Heat's power, except they actually stuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spoiled.
From a
Zio,
visual
Geo
appealing
for anyone.
standpoint, it's
like,
Oma-Zio's more
Big
visual.
sorry
Yeah.
for the Geo spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it or is
You
planning.
don't need to watch Zio.
No.
Just don't.
Just
Geo
watch
is
the
like
opening and then just
it's like an anniversary video.
There's some good
season
headshots in that
done wrong.
series. Like, don't get me wrong, but
There are good moments, but
Yeah.
not worth the entire
But-
show.
no, the real like there's the Power Rangers that like I don't doubt there is not even a small. There's a group that just I feel like they don't even enjoy Power Rangers anymore. They just
it's
feed
just
off of
MMPR
the-
and nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like they never watch past season 3,
full
and
season. Yeah,
Yo,
you know,
listen,
they're the-
stop with the Caesar
Yeah.
X, please.
so I feel like it's a small percentage, and personality wise, you don't know. Some people can't take people being hating on them, so it could be a case even if it was 2 or 3 people and they were excessive enough about it. I mean, I could see that coming across. People make burner accounts all the time. I got like 5 of them. Orb has like 30 of them.
17.
But it's just when Ash saw a tweet that blew up, like even to my surprise, I was like, dude, like one, I didn't know why he answered your question. Like, I mean, it's good to have the interaction, but I don't know why he answered that specifically. He could have been like, oh, we just
like
felt
cannot confirm or deny.
I mean, I saw Ash's tweet on Reddit. I just was randomly on Reddit, and
I
it was
made
like,
Reddit?
Yeah, you made Reddit.
Someone
so
posted up the
specific, too?
screenshot of
Yeah.
it, and I was just like,
dope.
"What?"
He didn't even
So
have to
I
go
put a
that
comment
specific.
on there.
He could have just
Yeah,
been
you
like,
weren't-
he's
you
been
didn't know you
burnt
were on
out,
Reddit, yeah.
he's tired, whatever.
Like, but it's like we've seen this. How often do we see? So it's kind of believable because we see like go on any previous cast members. Look at the Super Mega Force cast. Like those people get shit on constantly because everyone's like, "This is the worst Power Rangers show ever."
No,
Like,
you want someone who
even-
gets shit on? Joffrey's actor. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Skylar from Breaking Bad.
Raph
But
says,
what was
"Ash,
I
you
like-
got to frame that tweet. You got to print it out and frame that.
Put out a
now."
shirt. Put on merch.
Yep.
Yep.
Put on a cup, I'll drink
I'll
it.
hook a fourth wall account. Get you some.
I just like how it still shows like your profile picture chugging that big drink though. So that's the highlight of it all. Like when I was scrolling through and I was like, wait, I know that account.
Yeah. I know that Long Island.
Yep. I recognize the Long Island. Oh, and Pookie's responding back to that Long Island. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, no, it's just, man, this happens. Like,
I think that's the issue with the social media generation in general. Maybe it's just because I'm a millennial that existed pre-internet and remember a time before it. But then there's like just having easy access to like celebrities, production staff, and things like that, and sometimes they respond back has kind of given people like too much of a power trip. I feel in some occasions because they feel like just because they can, they should, and they don't realize that there's boundaries you don't break. At the end of the day, these are people, and
I like
the smallest thing like can still affect some people, regardless of how thick their skins is. If you get enough people in there, it's gonna make somebody just mentally like tune out.
that's why I don't
Yes.
talk that stuff with them. I don't like I said, me and Simon, we literally just talked about the 1971 production of Sweeney Todd because I had Angela Lansbury, and I was like, oh my god, pre-Murder She Wrote, and I was like, damn. I was like, even 1971 HD, she looked good.
Yeah.
I was like, Miss Kettle from Beauty and the Beast. I was like, and we're talking about that stuff. Like, and when I talk to people who have been like in Power Rangers, it's not like anytime I interact with Walter Jones, I was asking about like, because he does dance choreography and he has his own company and this and that. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, how do you like doing that? Like, is that like, I don't ask even when I meet them. Like, I don't go, oh, what did you feel like when you were filming episode 5 of season 2 of Power Rangers?
Like, they're like, I don't remember that shit. What are you talking about?
And even I did, I'm not telling you about it.
Yeah, I don't like, and that's the thing. Like, people put them on a pedestal. Yes, they're actors and directors, and they're Hollywood. I won't say elite, but it's like, you have a regular conversation. Like,
yeah,
don't harass people all the time, and it happens way too often.
The thing is,
like, what flavor is red velvet cake? That's all you gotta ask.
Let's not start this right now. I swear to God.
Why?
But,
you know the answer, Cloudy?
Yeah, I do. Let's not talk about this. So I just feel like the problem with like social media these days is like everyone has a voice, with no matter how stupid or how good it could be, and because they can just hide around a burner profile, they can just do whatever they want with it. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt at the end as long as they get entertainment, because that's what it's there for at the end of the day. If someone's bored, they just want to see something.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, for like a lot of folks, like these actors put themselves out there, these producers put themselves out there. Hell, those of us that
don't even
content
start
creation,
with me.
We put ourselves out there because we're putting our faces out there. Sometimes our names out there and things like that. And it goes beyond all that, because another thing, of course, segueing into it, it doesn't just stop with this whole Lord Zed situation, but Keiwa's actor got a lot of flack, I found out as well, regarding this new character arc, and people are like apparently like threatening this man and all kinds of shit just because of the heel turn that his character's had, and it's not the way that they want his character to go. And it's like, bro, just chill. It's an actor acting. It's an actor acting. It's not like he's actually.
They don't know kayfabe, man. They don't. They're just like.
I think because of that like aspect, we are gonna get a very fast and potentially abrupt end to this arc.
Yeah,
I don't think so, because the thing is, like, they shoot these episodes weeks in advance. This episode was probably filmed like a month ago.
Yeah.
Thank you, Graf. Yes. Threatening for what? Finally taking a W? The guy didn't take it. He snatched that W.
Hey, listen, he's tired of everyone freaking lying directly to his face about having buckles, not having the buckles.
No, so. And like it's just I don't get the whole death threats thing. Like I don't.
It makes no sense.
Also,
like even when I didn't like an actor, I would never like go directly to like if I didn't like the character that they were playing, I didn't go to like the actor's like social media page and just start like
be like, you should die. It's like what the hell? Like that's kind of sociopathic. Like
there's also you got to think about it this way. This guy sold you. He made a character you genuinely hate. That's his job. Yeah. Congrats.
That's like when I watch AEW, I hate MJF at the same time. Like, dude's hilarious. I like him. Like
exactly.
But like you're supposed to hate these like
that's the point.
They're villain. That's like me like hating Christensen when he and from freaking Revenge of the Sith when he like, was force choking Padme because damn, like she was looking good.
That was kind of the point. He's Vader.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to feel
he's turning into Vader. You're not supposed to like him, but like I mean, it's like the kid from even all the way back to Phantom Menace. Like that kid got threats too and was getting like shot. Same with the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. He retired from acting and like fell off the radar.
Yeah, because you don't mess with those Star Wars. Those Star Wars fans,
getting death threats. And so they put him
kid from Star Wars went insane. Like, didn't he like beat his mother or something?
Yeah, he's been in jail a few times for some domestic issues and drug abuse. And it's like I don't.
Get me started on like if you ever seen like a stage show of Star Wars performances and they get the lightsaber colors wrong, bro. Oh god.
Yeah, fandom like there's a good side to fandom, but there's a bad side to and I feel like giving like a megaphone to like some of those like super minority like that just have an unfavorable opinion, but because they've got the largest megaphone, like it leads like a movement in a way. And it's just like, don't be that way. If you appreciate the content, like be glad that you're getting the content. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to complain. Like you can complain about it, but just don't watch it. Don't subscribe to it. Don't like pay money for the stuff, like you can always watch something
Yeah.
else. Like,
And if someone is popular and you like them and they don't like a specific person, it is not your job to fight that fight for that person.
Exactly.
Everyone knows people have weaponized their audience to go after people. It happens.
Really?
I'm sorry. It's not like we had a conversation about this, but like
Listen,
eight episodes ago we actually had a conversation.
I say this on my podcast every day.
Yeah.
If I don't like a movie, I don't like a show, especially comic books, I have a pull list. It's like I don't like something, guess what? It's off the list. I don't watch it. I don't read it. When I make content, I'd rather talk about stuff I like.
Yeah, like Darkest Black. Everyone knows.
So like, but I will say this: if I'm ever fortunate enough to be on any production team or an actor on any show in any fandom, and y'all got an issue, I will gladly go to a convention, set up a booth offsite, and I'll just fight you. Like, I'm okay because like I've seen like because 37, you're in
34.
the 30s, 34. We were there at the iteration and creation of social media. Basically, we were adults anyway, so we had already fully developed our brains. Not to say all you kids aren't fully developed in your brains. You guys are just stupid. That's all. But I just don't know where this, like, who has the audacity to act like this online towards people?
Like I can appreciate a good debate. Like there's different, like that's the thing that fandom was big on back in the day was you didn't like something, cool. We would debate about it. Like why you didn't like it versus someone else liking. It's now just like vitriol. It's like if you don't like it, then everything is wrong. Like
if your opinion is not that of the majority, get fucked.
I call it hate bait. That's all it is. It's hate bait. Like you go on YouTube right now, go ahead, type in the letters MCU. Look at the algorithm.
No, don't do that.
Or DC. Or any of that. It's like
DC or anything like that. Pixar right now, Disney, anything just pulls up.
Type in Indiana Jones. Oh my god.
That's the latest one.
I watched like a couple of Spider-Man lore videos, and now my algorithm is like how Spider-Man's fallen off because like I watch comics explained, and there's some really cool stuff going with Miles and that in that run from what I've heard. And now it's just like it's like Carnage Reigns or something.
Oh,
no
fan? Have nothing nice to say. I'm not going to say anything.
All right, okay. It sounded cool from what like comic explainer was saying. But now it's like all my YouTube algorithm is like how this character fell off or how modern Spider-Man fell off. And I'll probably go back and watch those videos, but as long as they're not like the usual like propaganda that people use, like the buzzwords, yeah, that makes sense.
And 100% is.
I was like that. Like Spider-Man, prime example, Miles Morales came around, Ultimate Spider-Man. I was a fan of the Ultimate Universe. That happened. I stopped reading Spider-Man. I was like, this is stupid. Came back, was it Ahmed Saladin started Miles Morales Spider-Man. It just ended. That's why they just started a new Spider-Man run. I was reading it and I was like, holy crap, like, all right, this is actually really good. And then I even, on my podcast, I took back, I was like, hey, I take back anything negative I said. As long as there's a good writer to the story, this character works. So I should not be mad at this fictional character. Just didn't, the writing just didn't click for me.
It's like for me, it was like Thor. I never really liked the Thor comics until I read like the Odin Son and like the Unworthy Thor comics.
Oh, after Original Sin into War of the Realms and everything.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing.
That's the only good Thor. That's like
that's what I mean. Like that was so good Thor.
It's
that
like
was
Aquaman.
Also
there's no good Aquaman ever. No,
and people love to complain about this comics because guess what? That was Jane Foster female Thor. That was when we got it.
Yeah, but no, this is the fandom's everything. Like I'm shocked though because I looked up when I saw everyone talk about Kayla's actor getting death threats. Apparently, it's from the Japanese fan base.
Yeah, Japanese fan base.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
And I was like, all the English speaking Americans, Australians, Europeans, we love Kayla. You go look at Japanese Twitter, they're like,
fuck Kayla.
The thing though is they're not going.
I need the translations. I need like the subs to get on those fast. I need to. See
I just hope they don't. They say they don't like Kayla and not like they're going after Ryuga Sato because like that would just.
I think they are from what I've heard. They are going after.
From the sounds of it, yes, they are going directly against the actor. Yeah, and I think it's just like I can understand you don't like an actor like the role that they're playing because it's like Kamen Rider Deno. I didn't like the actor like that played Deno and
Every
during
Japanese
Deno.
mom disagrees.
During Deno. But then I saw the live action Rurouni Kenshin, and it made me change my tune on the entire actor. I'm like, oh boy, like this guy's good.
I still didn't realize that was him until you said something. I was like,
Mm.
oh shit,
pretty good.
Yeah, it's just like range, like the range this guy's got. It's great.
To be honest, he had a lot of range in Deno too.
Yeah, but Deno sucked though.
Listen, you gotta get past those 25 episodes.
It just wasn't great.
It was
the main character hadn't showed up to the show yet. You know, you gotta wait.
Out of all of like Heisei 1, it's probably like the most middest of entries.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, I joked that Gaima's mid, but Deno's mid.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gaim dude showing up at Japan Heroes, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the internet's already not happy with me because I tweeted about it. I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna be at Japan World Heroes, and someone's like, "Don't do it, Mark." And I'm like,
"Oh my god,
what?" And I was like, "Oh, I forgot that I spent 2 years saying Gaim was mid on almost daily." And I'm like, everyone thinks
you still got that Gaim pillow. You should have him autograph.
Dude, I'm gonna break it out of the bag, and I'm actually gonna have him sign it with a silver pen. That's actually what I'm gonna do while I'm there.
Hey, there you go.
I will say, and I'm gonna sell it for like $400. Who wants to buy it?
I'll buy it.
I got 5 CSM for you, $900. Ooh, I got 5 CSMs to pay off.
Raise the price on it.
By the way, Mark, I just gotta say this: like, out of like a lot of people I know, you probably have, I have to say, the most like untouched palette when it comes to your favorite shows. At least I think, because all the stuff you like, I feel like is like just so uninfluenced by anyone's opinion.
I learned really early on not to let other people's opinions of stuff change my opinion. Because everyone's different. That's why, like, when someone wants, like, John and you talk about manga, I give you multiple options because everyone's different. Not everything. I mean, Ghost is S tier to me, so obviously, like, there's something wrong.
I mean, that's the thing about fandom in general as well, is like with as large and connected that we are, there are some opinions that can get skewed, whether or not it's like videos being put out there and things like that. Because like I used to say, like, when I got into the community, Agito was goated. It was like what everybody was like, this is the gold standard. Like everything else, don't watch Agito first, because you watch any of these other seasons after Agito, you're just going to compare it to Agito. It's just that great. And so I was just like, oh shit, well, let me hold up on it. Let me just go ahead and hold up. I watched I didn't watch Agito until 2009, 2010 when Decade was airing. And the thing is, like, yeah, I loved it the first time, but then after a while, I was like, in my rewatch, I was just like, you know what, I'm still got something for Fies, and Fies is my favorite series. Like for a while, it's like Fies was my favorite season, but then Agito became my favorite season, and it was part of it because of the hype, the community, and all that stuff telling me that, you know, in my mind, it elevated it higher as well because I was enjoying what I was watching. But then, of course, you had the community just constantly going at like how good Agito was. But then after a while, I was like, it's great, but there's something about Fies that I just feel like I just enjoy more than Agito, and that's fine. It's okay to form your own opinions. But also another thing is really don't let opinions skew you, because getting back there's the pillow. Yeah, getting back into the community.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you had a body pillow.
Oh, you got that for
looks like someone else is getting a body bag.
They give me I remember the body pillow. It's over.
No, but yeah, like I remember coming back into the community, and then everybody was just like shitting on Agito, and I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Dude, that's
to be honest,
how it is.
It's like one of those things where I always get the opposite. If someone's like telling me like an entire show or series is bad, I have to watch it because it can't be as bad as they're saying.
Yeah, like I'll probably check out Ghost one day, since everyone it's like the main Ghost is bad.
It's
not
it's
bad.
It's enjoyable, just not anything amazing.
The first half.
The thing is, it's probably better if you binge it, because the thing is, I was watching it week to week, and after a while, I just was disinterested in the story, the characters, and things like that. And I got to the tail end of it. I literally just fell behind by a couple of weeks. Was like at the 42, 43 mark, and then the next season started airing, and I was like, you know what? I don't have to see the ending of Ghost. I'm just gonna move on to next season, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that's kind of like
I mean,
At least we could all agree that the Ultraman fandom's nice because all of us just like Ultraman, and then we have to deal with all the other fandoms just shitting on us.
it's true.
Like,
We just
we're like, oh, I love
Ultraman.
Ultraman, and we just have to deal with, oh yeah, which one? They all look the same, and I'm like, really?
They're all great. You know,
That's
for the
all.
most part.
That's all we get for hate. Everyone else is just like but then we're like toxic. We're like, oh, did you guys get another Blu-ray release for your Super Sentai or Kamen Rider? Oh wait.
Look, I will say Blazar from the side profile, not the light up side, but just the side profile without the light up side, looks a lot like original Ultraman.
I was saying it looks a lot like Ultraman.
Which one?
Like which
Like
one?
original.
Ultraman, exactly.
No, I mean
got-
which original Ultraman? Yeah, you got like 3
No,
Ultraman that
we're-
look like Ultraman.
We're just good at listen.
Okay.
Well, first
Red
one,
Velvet Ultraman.
first
Okay.
release.
Ultraman
first
Red
release.
Velvet.
All right, fine.
There.
Speaking of, did you are we still gonna talk about toxicity of fandoms or because
Yeah, we can still talk. I mean,
well,
toxicity in fandom
I
in
just-
general tends to
I
be like
just
a
thought
whole can of
the
worms.
good thing about the fandom was we all came to terms with the fact that the Shin Ultraman Blu-ray subs are ass. I don't know if you
Oh,
saw that.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
not seen that.
Oh, they
They're
still
bad.
have the page breaks and HTML in it.
What?
The line breaks, yeah.
Yeah, they're bad.
No, I have to
Uh,
find this.
Yeah,
Is this
let
on
me,
Twitter?
yeah, let me find it really quick because I actually quote retweet because I actually canceled all my pre-orders in there. I had what like
Do you quote tweet it? I'll just pull up your Twitter real
I had
quick.
like 6 pre-ordered and yeah, no, it was I canceled all of them and I feel bad because I was going to be doing a giveaway next week, but the fact that the line breaks are still in there, everything is still just and I was
Actually,
like,
I think
this,
someone on
I can't find
my
it now.
Discord posted up some
Yeah, it's
some pictures.
I can't
Well,
find it now.
gotcha.
Damn, and I don't want to risk my computer catching on fire.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look up anything either
Yeah.
for the same reason. I don't want to
So yeah,
like, crash for the third time.
all the page breaks and HTML are still there. It's not even the subs that were used when it was released in theaters. Apparently, the digital version that you can get is fine, but it's just this Cleopatra company. Like, what do you expect from a distributor who hasn't posted
I
anything
see it. I
in
see
2
it.
years? Yeah, it's bad.
I see it. Yeah.
And I'm mad because, you know,
Ash, if you got it pulled up, can you pull it up on the stream so people can
Yeah,
see?
Give me
because
it?
one
I think-
second. Yeah, let me
yeah.
save it. Let me save it.
my
Oh.
issue with this is we were getting such good like quality. Yes, there were some issues with Gridman, not obviously the anime one, and a few other ones, but they were still better than nothing, but they weren't horrible. You still got the gist of the show. Everything was passable. But for how big Shin Ultraman is, everything else, but now people are using this. Oh, well, what do you expect from Subaraya? That messed up Gridman. I'm like, no, there's some really good releases in there. I have every Ultraman physical release through Mill Creek, DVD and Blu-ray. I've watched 90% of my collection. I can tell you,
Oh
Very
my
many-
god, that's
there we go.
wow.
Yeah. And in most cases, also, it will cut off on the screen as well.
Wait.
So it's
What?
bad.
What? Zoffy? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get fired.
Yes, Mega. They were passable. This is hot garbage. This is like the worst.
So you don't understand why that's funny, but that's hilarious. It says Zoffy says yes. Oh,
Yeah.
oh Lord.
So, is it Matt Dent, the one who works with Bri and everything? He's looking into this. He quote tweeted, he's like, "Yeah, we're looking into this." I'm like, "That's cool," but anyone who knows production, this is coming out and supposed to be released in 4 days.
Yeah. Ooh, and I'm guessing pre-orders have already shipped at this
Yeah.
point.
So luckily, I pre-ordered through Amazon, so it hasn't even shipped out yet. I was like, cancel,
Good, good, good.
and then I called
but
them
you
to
know
make
what-
sure.
What that means is that these early releases are going to be an oddity, and they're just going to go up in value because people
It's
are going to
true.
be
It's
like,
gonna
"Oh,
be a
I want
collector's
the,
item.
I
Yeah.
want the bad subversion."
But
Because you know how many watch parties are gonna be like, let's watch this with the
do you
bads.
know how many I had pre-ordered though? Because they were
Yeah.
cheap. They were on sale. They were like on sale. When I pre-ordered, they were like $15 each. I was like, yeah, I could do multiple giveaways. I'll do giveaways for followers, subs, commenters. I was like, oh, the algorithm and the analytics. But then I was like, I can't wholeheartedly. Yes, I have one still just in case because I think just like Zio, but I can't publicly always say, hey, I'm gonna keep this because it'll be rare. I ain't gonna take the shrink wrap out. But like, I can't support this I'm not
I
gonna
get you.
do the whole blind, speak with your wallets BS. Like, no, this is trash. Why'd you let this company bid that hasn't publicly done anything to promote any of their stuff since 2021?
Fuck.
Like
Man, I
March
can't
or
wait
April.
for day one patches on Blu-rays to start being a thing.
Oh my god! Remember when Blu-rays used to connect
listen.
online and you could do the watch-alongs?
Yeah.
I did a watch-along with Sherlock Holmes, and Robert Downey Jr. was there pre-recorded, but it was live apparently.
You think they'll let me buy all the battle pass points now?
Yes, just now.
But yeah,
And actually, just
that was...
seeing something in the chat reminded me of something. I don't know if you guys have seen the story going around about Team Common Writer, and
I
the
vaguely
head.
had about it. I vaguely heard about it.
I've hinted at Discord chats with you guys. Like I've known.
Yeah, so I was
stuff for a
seeing
couple
this
months.
once again while just randomly browsing on Reddit, just because I was like, I got nothing better to do. I'm not sleeping because I've been sober for a week. So let me just browse the webs. I'm sick. When I'm sick, I will take a break from my my alcoholism.
Yeah, I get it. 7 years here. I understand.
But the thing is, it helps me sleep. But otherwise, I'm just stuck being awake. So I was just browsing through, and someone said, someone pretty much posted up that the current head of Team Writer, and part of the reason why Team Writer has been silent, is because the guy outright has beef with Toei. And that is the reason why Team Writer has been pretty much radio silent for like the last year. We used to get like press releases and things like
Band
that.
meetups, live streams, Heisei Week, Rider Week. Also, real quick, Megadon, listen, hating Team Kamen Rider, like Dave and all them, they work for Bandai. They are great guys. They still do a lot of the Bandai collectible stuff, this and that. They had no, like, they had their hands off of this completely. They had nothing to do with this. They were the ones pushing for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, like people I don't know if Toku Chris is still involved, but Chris is like really great at pushing stuff like that.
I don't know if he's involved either anymore. But no, they had not. This is like a higher up at Bandai. And that's the issue. They had nothing to do with it. Like they still do their live streams going over SH Figure Arts, answering questions, this and that. They are fans of stuff. They were the ones pushing for extra stuff to be like brought up in this and that. And it's like they can only make suggestions. They weren't decision makers. So everyone who was actually Team Kamen Rider, the actual Team Kamen Rider, all great guys. This is someone at Bandai that's above that. This is someone who's not going to conventions and talking to fans and posing for photos and unboxing the merch and being like, this is great. This is someone who went to college and gets to sit behind a computer and make money at Bandai, which, I mean, obviously I could do that if they asked me, but they won't.
I mean, look, we got beef with Toei, but it's different. We get mad at them because of the money that they're about to make us spend. But apparently, the current head has so much beef with Toei that he doesn't want us to spend money. Like, no, I'm not going to promote these.
But apparently, Toei has a new person who's in head of some division that is keeping his eyes on Kamen Rider outside of Japan, and is actually a fan of it being worldwide.
Well, we'll see how that goes, but yeah.
And Marcus Natsu posted a really good video on like why Rider's kind of a mess when it comes to getting a worldwide distribution.
It was a good video. I saw that.
Yeah.
So
listen, anytime you get a Bandai or any merchandising company involved with the community and you're using them as like your voice, you got to know that the main company that's running all this cares about money. They don't care about the community. That's why I was like, if anything's going to happen, it should be community driven by the community itself. And out of all the fandoms I've seen, the Kamen Rider fandom is so different pockets, like high school cliques, that there's no way the fandom will ever be on the same page. If there was like a designated community that wanted to put on, hey, fan meetups, hey, let's do our own week where we live stream and have panels and this and that for like community, like Kamen Rider Community Week or something like that. That's what it has to be. It can't be sponsored by Bandai or Bandai running it or Toei having their hands in it. It has to be community driven because you don't have the glass ceiling of what you can and cannot say. Like there's still groups of people who will gladly talk about fan subs and a whole group of people who refuse to acknowledge it, even though obviously they utilize it, or else how would they watch the freaking shows? But they want to treat it like a swear word. But that's the has happened. It has to be community driven, not from these. So like Team Kamen Rider, the ideals behind it, what they want to accomplish, kudos to them. But let's face it, after they did the whole if you want something, spend your money spiel last year that we all had to talk about, like there was radio silence. That was just retweeting announcements and bad at SH Figure Arts, and that's it.
And it's not like we don't already vote with our wallets anyway. I just think that, I mean, we've talked about this before. There needs to be more outlets out there for the merchandise, and it can't just be monopolized in a way that it currently is. It's only a small handful, but that's the thing. It's like these pre-order campaigns and things like that are very limited, and it's not like we don't want to spend money. Well, I mean, sometimes it's like,
I don't want to, but I have to.
Yeah, it's like you see it and it's like I gotta have it. But then when you're stuck between like two places that you could possibly pre-order from, and like some of them have different pre-order policies than others type
and
things.
Prices.
Yeah.
Then you look at Amazon Japan, you're like, wait, why is it half price over there?
Exactly.
Thank you, Mega. But Amazon's getting better. Bandai is getting better, but their time frame of Japan releases to US is still not there. I'm less worried about the whole Team Kamen Rider side of things and more. My eye is more on Toei having someone new in the company that actually wants to spread Kamen Rider Super Sentai worldwide. That's more intriguing to me than this corporate community entity, because like I still go in because it's not Team Kamen Rider. I go in the Bandai streams every week. They stream on Fridays. It's great. They announce SH Figure Arts. I've met them at stores, conventions. I still will support those guys no matter what they do. I don't harass them about Kamen Rider stuff because they keep announcing Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts and they know how I feel about that. And they announce Gundam stuff and they know I never build them and I buy them all. But
can we get that higher up replaced with someone with you? Well, the thing is, so this is what I don't understand. Is Team Kamen Rider actually a stem off from like the official source itself? Because I know Japanese work culture and the organizations that happen to be international still tends to have a Japanese figurehead in there from a parent company. And I don't know if Team Kamen Rider is the same way. This is just going from my experience dealing with like stuff Nintendo related and Sony related, where their international branch would still have someone from the Japanese branches take over it and still instill that work culture there.
I guess the best I can explain it is Team Kamen Rider. They also were doing like the Bandai stuff. They were doing everything. The Dragon Ball Z announcements. They were doing the Gunpla stuff. All those things. So basically, that whole division. They were more like, because Bandai has different divisions. Bandai Collectibles is like the merchandising. They're basically community managers for that division. So they were just, okay, put you on stream. You're going to talk about the stuff. You're going to hype it up. I don't know behind the scenes how much they were doing other than that. Because I don't, anytime I talk to them, they're like, oh, it's Mark. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, how's it in San Diego? Oh, did you go to our flagship store down there? It's like, yes. How'd you know? Do you guys got my credit? You got security cameras? Like, what the fuck? But no, there's different, like, that's like an offshoot. I don't know how the direct connection to Japan, but I assume community manager stuff is kind of like down here. And then you get into the marketing team, production team, licensing, higher up and up. Like, I assume whoever's in direct talks with anyone in Japan, the Bandai division up there is probably higher up there than someone who's a part of the community management.
Yeah, because I mean, community management probably wouldn't be the same person that is the one responsible currently for the radio side, because that would be way above several pay grades.
Yeah,
for all that. So yeah, Team Kamen Rider, toxicity in the fandom. We've covered up a pretty.
Dude, I'm mad. I never got the button up. That said Team Kamen Rider with my name on the back. It's bullshit because they were selling them for like $100, and back then I was like, dude, $100, like for that. Like now I was like, man, I should have scooped it, but I was just like, I didn't like the color scheme on it. I would have took one for free though. Like free, fine, but now I'm never gonna get one.
Well, either way, I think biggest thing that I guess people in the chat and people that watch this this stream or listen to it afterwards can just take away is definitely like, hey, be mindful of what you say, especially to like these higher ups in other companies and these actors and things like that. Even if you don't like a role that they're in there, at the end of the day, like you're also threatening someone's livelihood in a way.
Yeah,
Because like this guy didn't want to do a job that he had in the bag for Lord Zed, like just because of potential fallout with fandom invading possibly DMs or anything like that. We don't know the whole story regarding all that, but once again, it's just like this is probably something that the guy enjoyed like doing.
Yeah.
In terms of voice
Like
acting.
he was vengeance.
Yeah. And now like they're out of it. And my entire takeaway from that is just like, I mean, Lord Zed's a major character that if they bring back like another 5 years, like if depending on how the reboot goes and stuff like that, and if they want to revisit like old plot points and threads like that, then if they bring him back, then it might not be the same guy now, just because of course it'll be whoever they recast him with in Cosmic Fury. And of course, new person got a job, that's great, but at the same time, like this could have been avoided in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then
Also, if you think people don't see, your tweets, people do.
Yeah.
Ashton thinks Simon was going to reply to him. Just because someone doesn't reply doesn't mean they don't see it. I'm sure
A lot of people look at all their DMs.
Yeah. So it's like, would you want someone talking to you like that? I mean, some of us don't mind it, but like,
I mean, sometimes in our own comment, even though like YouTube filters things and it has like, do you want to view the held for inappropriate? I'm just like, I'll see what they say, just for the hell of it.
The amount of held for inappropriate on my ranking Ultraman video is so ridiculous.
It really is that bad?
Oh my god, it is. There's more that are hidden and held for review than that are actually I let posted.
Oh, okay. There. Wait, what about mine?
Yours on there.
Okay.
Yours were bad. What the like? Why would I be held for review? You didn't tell me like I should burn in a fire. Someone did that actually.
No. I left a funny comment in your Ultraman video, just like as a guy who would like hate it. So it was like I didn't know if that was okay.
I don't care about that. I knew it was you. I know your username.
Oh.
The thing is, I will say that a lot of these fandoms, like I remember, of course, back in the day when being a nerd was like you were definitely like a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah.
And the nerd culture in general has just blown up.
It's
so
now very
much so,
hipster-y to be.
where they like they reign supreme. Like a lot of these subjects and matters are definitely like nerd culture has gotten huge. Which will kind of quickly segue. You went to Anime Expo last weekend.
Yes, I did.
Oh, AX.
And I saw videos of just how much of a fire hazard it was. The amount of people there, and I'm like, anime has gone too far. This is a sign that this fandom's gotten too big.
I didn't go the whole time, but anyone knows me knows I don't pay for conventions. I go as either press, industry, media, exhibitor. So because I was a journalist, I still have my press credentials from years of and I only went up. I went up Friday night, went all day Saturday, came home because it's hot. And honestly, I've never been to Anime Expo, and I really wanted to go. I wanted to check that off the bucket list. It was nice. I'm glad I didn't have to go in at the same time as everyone else. I got to go in before everything kind of opened, and that was crazy amount of people. And luckily,
what was the smell like? I gotta ask.
Yeah, how did it smell?
I smelled worse. I think the two worst I've ever been to was PAX East in 2011, and then New York Comic Con in 2015. Those were like the two worst, like smelliest conventions. Oh, it's San Diego Comic Con every year because it's hot. It's usually like 100 degrees.
What about Power Morphicon?
No, Power Morphicon, that wasn't packed. That was like very kind of chill. The only time I had any real physical interactions were people trying to film merch booths and not being aware of their surroundings and bumping into me, which still pisses me off. Like if you're gonna literally try to do a TikTok going down a booth, like at least don't walk into people who are like spending money. Like I get it, you want to like live vicariously through your video because you're broke, but let Mark buy 4 drivers from Anime Jungle.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's what I did. But no, anime is weird because it seems
was always weird. What are you?
Well, no, from the standpoint of
the community. Oh, he's mute.
Oh,
great.
Anime was a mistake. It's nothing but trash.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Kid was trying to escape. No, so there's always like a few shows everyone latches onto, and then that is like it's still Naruto in One Piece. Like, and now the new flavor is Chainsaw Man, and I'm just like, y'all are just like, back in the day it used to be diverse. You'd see like Mahoramatic and all these other weird like
now it's all Demon
and
Slayer.
stuff like that. And it's like, no, whatever the peak like Shonen Jump is, that's all that you see around you. Like they had, I've never seen One Piece because it's freaking mid, so I know nothing about it. But there's some like Gear 4, Gear 5, Luffy, whatever, like statue, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, look how great this is! This is amazing! This is the coolest thing I've ever seen." I'm like, that's cool, but like there's Ultraman statues over there, and Square Enix has an actual Ifrit statue that I want to lick in front of everybody. Like, but this cool One Piece thing, that's cool. Like, I don't.
That's why you go to the conventions for the cringe.
Yeah, Mark, I'm a 3-piece and 2 sides person myself, not really a 1-piece person, but like that's on you.
I think it's because
it's hot there.
Anime's gotten it's got that popular like syndrome thing, you know. Once something gets too popular, obviously people rush out and they go for what's the best. And you know, you got to be watching what's the best show to talk to people about what the best show is. So everyone's watching the same shit because they're all just sniffing their own farts thinking this is the best show right now. And back in the day, you didn't have that. People were just watching whatever anime they could find because guess what? They didn't even know what some of them were. Couldn't find
it. It's getting worse because we talked about toxic fandoms. Apparently, this was trending. Someone started collecting manga in the last 2 years, less than 2 years, and they already have spent $10,000 in their collection. And it's a nice display, but guess how much they've read?
None.
0. Okay. So the fandom is just on him because he's just collecting it because he likes the way it looks. And I'm like, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it, but it's kind of.
I mean, I buy stuff because I like the way they look, but like,
and the thing when it comes to manga, it's like there's not a resale value when it comes to manga. Manga doesn't appreciate and value much.
Depends. There's a lot of.
Have you seen those Resident Evil ones that are out of print that got canceled? Those things are going for like $80 a volume. Even Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches, like volume 16 is like $150 for the volume. Apparently,
you're right about like your typical shonen
jump. Yeah, but yeah, there's no real resale value because now actually modern ones get reprinted so many times.
Oh yeah. Try asking how many times the My Hero mangas have been reprinted.
Dude, look how many times the One Piece ones have been.
Well, yeah, it's One Piece.
Now that Shonen Jump and stuff like that has that deal with Target, like they're printing them like freaking. But it was a good convention. The first anime convention I ever went to was like 15, 16 years ago, and it was like under 1,000 people went to it. Oh. It was in the middle of Connecticut. In Hartford, Connecticut, at their little, and it wasn't even at the convention center. It was in the lobby of it was at a hotel in Hartford, Connecticut that had like the little conference rooms. And
I mean, that's usually how it goes. That's what I'm used to is like lobby, and every conference room is a panel, and then you know.
I met someone at my first convention that I didn't know what they did at the time, and then I found out what they did later, and I was like, oh my god, I shook hands with this person. That was Kaho Shibuya, by the way.
We're all like, who?
Yeah, oh, you don't. I'm not gonna say.
Bad with names.
I can't say it on stream. What she does. Although Zio, you know these videos very well.
I'm pretty sure I do too.
I might too.
Yeah, she's a cosplayer now. So when I went to one of my expos, I got to meet her.
I bumped into one of those.
And I didn't know what she did, but everyone was excited to meet her. So I shook her hand and everything, and did the whole spiel. Yeah, of course. I think.
I mean, he
Mark,
survived.
Remember, it's me, Mark. I have to.
Was it a bubble now? So you never know.
I was not in a bubble at the time.
That could have caused it.
It did not.
Domino effect.
Do we quickly want to skew into more toxicity real fast, just because of a question Mega Dong asked?
Yeah, go for
it. Was it?
So Mega Dong asked, "I want to make YouTube videos. Is there anything you guys do to deal with that kind of hate?"
Ignore.
Drink.
Nothing.
I don't care.
I don't care.
The biggest thing is just to realize if you start growing too fast, you are going to get like a lot of I can speak from personal experience. You are going to get some people that are going to try and find the littlest thing on you. They will wait for you to slip up and spam the fuck out of it. Because I technically have burnt bridges and things like that because of things that were taken out of context beyond my control, and just because people just had it out for me. I guess I was growing the channel too big for a while. So it's like once I hit that 1K, they were like, nah, we're not gonna let you go any further than that type thing. And
Here you are.
it's a real thing. It sucks, it's terrible. It still plagues me in my my nightmares every now and then.
I will say
But
this.
it's how it goes from time to time.
It
And you
is.
just have to get past those hurdles if you ever get to that point.
Yeah.
For as
And you
small
don't have to
as-
worry about being guilty by association. Like you're gonna make real friends in this community, like Zio, and I will defend Zio on social media, like to the end. And if you're gonna like, I've been blocked by many people. I don't know when the episode's coming out. I was a guest on someone's podcast. And we were talking about stuff like that because we didn't want to talk about Toku. We want to talk about content creating. And I was like, listen, like, years ago when I started being a journalist and doing all this stuff, I got into it for the wrong reasons. I wanted money. I wanted money and free shit. Then, you know, I got the money and I sold out. I didn't like what I was creating. I didn't like that I was reviewing, you know, PS2, PS3 Harry Potter games and World of Warcraft expansions and overhyping it because I was getting a little sidekick on the side. Like, but if you're going to create it, like, it comes with the territory. The second you put yourself out there, you have to be open to criticism, and a lot of it is unwarranted. Like, and that's how it is. Like, whenever you do something, someone's always going to think they're better than you.
Yep.
Or they're gonna say why they are, and then it's like, but also figure out what you want to make before. Like, you could go the trial and error route, or you could be like what I did, where I was just like, oh, reactions are popular right now. Let me go do reactions.
I mean, I don't like chasing trends like that. I think my biggest thing, because I'm one of those people that does take criticism to heart, does do that, but then I have a competitive attitude to I want to outdo the haters type things. And if people notice that around the same time last year, like my content started changing a little bit in the way that like my editing got a little bit better, like my skits started getting a little bit more out there. And it was just because I was like, you know what? They're trying to shoot me down. I'm going to prove them wrong and get better at my craft and things like that, even though it's still like a little bit of a slow burn. In terms of my growth, I'm satisfied with the content I'm putting out, even though like I'm sick and muscling through a lot of the shit. Like once this stream's over, I'm gonna go back to sounding like I'm actually sounding right now. I'm putting out like so much
like,
of oh yeah, the people that were on Discord VC earlier know how I'm actually like sounding like I'm definitely like hamming it up right now just to sound fine.
The lights are on, that's why.
Yeah, that's really it. Plus I had my tea. But yeah, like the entire thing is just depends on how you take the criticism. Some people will take it and they will drop off of the media. And one of the earlier live streams that we did, we talked about a particular individual that technically got kicked out, left the platform because of some harassment that they got. And some people didn't like us talking about that subject after that stream.
I have the DMs from people who didn't like me talking about that.
And it's just like
I said the name out
need to put it
loud.
down.
I had no problem saying the name, and I had DMs. I had like good 6 or 7 different people DM me about that, and I was like, okay, you could have said it in the live chat, and I would have just we could all discuss it as a group. But all right, I'm not gonna put our DMs out there. But hey, I'm just saying, the bitch move.
Yeah, the Toku community. I don't know why, but for a small niche of a community that we are, there shouldn't be as much gatekeeping as there is. Like,
it's reverse gatekeeping. It's we don't want gatekeepers, so we're gonna gatekeep people from gatekeeping, and in regard, it's still gatekeeping. Like, I tell her too. Also, if you're gonna make content, talk about what you like, talk about what you enjoy. If it's Toku related, this and that, because like the algorithm is so like touch on it, like comic books and movies. Like you go search Indiana Jones, you go search Star Wars, you're gonna get a feed of negative videos. But at least like talk about what you want to, because it's I've done a few videos like that, not on purpose, but because I was genuinely confused. I did a Miles Morales what if video, because he became poor, and it was very racist of a comic. I didn't like it, but I wanted to talk about it from a discussion standpoint because I like that character and why it was like that. But definitely talk about what you like, because there's too much negative. It is going to emotionally drain you being so negative, because what you create content and how you're working and like writing your videos, it does kind of trickle into once the camera's off. And if you're already in a good mood talking about something, then when you're going to edit it, you're going to hear yourself being excited and happy about something instead of like you being negative. Now you're editing a video where you're talking negatively. Then you got to post it, right? Then you got to see everyone agree with you about it and talk shit. It's like, that's just fueling the negative side of things. So like, talk about what you love, because you're going to enjoy it more. And don't worry about editing, because listen, Zio makes us all look like ass with his edits. So like,
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the Blazar sucks ass videos. Oh my god.
like I'm literally like, every time like, okay, I got this equipment, I'm learning new editing, and Zio's like, oh, I'm gonna have 4 of me in a green screen. I'm like, this mother, like, you know what? Like, all right, I'm just gonna do stick figure animation videos for now. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done trying to learn editing. I'm like, I peaked. This is all you're getting from me.
Look, the opening for that King Oger like video this week took me 4 hours just to edit, not even film, just to edit.
I'm not even wearing hats anymore. I just give up, honestly. I'm like, no more hats. I don't even have sleeves anymore.
That's good. You get to show off the muscles.
I know, right? I gave up on keto. I'm eating carbs again. I got garlic bread over there.
No, because of my sickness, I technically had to eat carbs, and I like instantly saw some weight gain. And I was like, nope.
Get garlic bread is delicious.
I'm dropping this.
Oh yeah, you don't use Twitter. I made an announcement who I signed my live streaming contract with.
Oh,
ooh, YouTube. Yeah, they gave me a jar of pickles and garlic bread.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. So you just eat pickle sandwiches and that's it?
No, just pickles on their own. I don't put them in sandwiches.
He eats them separately.
The garlic. I pour the juice on the garlic bread before I cook it.
Ash, I don't know if you've ever gotten any negative comments. I would imagine you have, being on this platform for so long and having
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Oh my god,
not talking positively about Power Rangers.
Not directly at me, mostly about the stuff I talk about. There's like some that slip through the cracks, but not like, I don't have like orbiters who like hover around me and hate me, which is weird because I've been doing it for so long. Like, I don't have those people following me, so I must be doing something right or something wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I'm expecting like
good.
That
That's
one
a
guy.
Right there.
It's just your context. I've been watching your content. I mean, because of the Power Ranger comic book stuff. Because I'm just still not the biggest Power Ranger show fan, just because I don't have time to watch all that stuff. But from a comic book standpoint, like, you don't say anything that could even warrant like.
I think if they get mad by the time they get to the ending jingle of your videos, they're like, their tune just changes. It's just like, I like this ending jingle. I'm just like,
and Ash, you made it to Reddit, by the way, with your Simon thing. So it's like, Graf had a good point. You're like,
screenshot just right there.
Now, I think it's because, like I said, like what the content you make kind of breeds the comments. Like if you're being positive about something, people are going to be positive. And the only time I've ever gotten negative stuff is when I've ranking videos. That's the only time I've ever gotten hate, is because
that's because you're sharing your opinion, Mark.
Yeah,
everyone hates.
Yeah, and the thing is, while I was on Twitter, it's like I was seeing like people go over after like some other content creators that I wish I could reach out to in terms of things. Like I know like Japanime left the platform like as I was starting off, just because of a lot of the hate that they were getting on social media and his comments.
I didn't know they were getting.
Like he made a community post about 2 months or so ago, going over like why he was gone like for so long, and he broke it down in some detail regarding everything that was going on in the social media scene in terms of like anytime that he would hop back on like social media, his DMs would get flooded, things like that. And it's just like, toxicity just exists in all different fucking platforms, and it's just like, when you put yourself out there, you run the risk of that happening.
Yeah, because he deleted all his videos, didn't he?
Yeah, he deleted he nuked everything.
You have to go into like I think his community post is still out there. Like if you go to the community,
no, I just checked. I don't see it.
Oh, then I guess
that's why I don't put myself fully out there either. Like I tell everyone, you got to keep stuff to your if I get to keep some stuff to yourself. Like people know I have a wife,
that's
but, like,
what I
it's
do.
not on my social media That's for me. I don't talk about my work specifically. That's also for me. Like I don't talk specific. Like you got to like I'm transparent on stuff that's going on in my life, but I'm not fully transparent about how I'm living my life.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And also, you like Waku Saver, and can I make a video about it? Yes, you can, Mega. Please talk about that. The show or the movie.
Just be careful what particular shots, the frames you're including in your videos.
Yeah, kind of maybe
upper body.
Yeah, not the you know. But yeah, no, definitely make a video about that. Like no one, especially if you're going to go down route and you want to make indie Toku videos, like please do, because I watch a lot of indie Toku, but like I don't got time. My computer's like hanging on by like a thread in ketchup right now. I was going to eat corn dogs, but you know, can't go make them right now. But yeah, no, just dude, there's so many niches too. Like there's so many different types of content you can make. Like just find out if you could do long form video essays, rankings. Like there's
like that one guy that made a whole like 2 hour long video on why the first arc of Saber sucked.
He didn't even make it. Wasn't why he literally just recapped the episodes. Horribly.
I didn't watch it because I didn't want to get spoiled. So
no, okay, it was literally just an episode recap of like 10 or 11 episodes. It wasn't even like a review or opinion. It literally was verbatim, just recapping what happened and just saying it's stupid. And I'm like, he won't message me anymore because I sent him an invoice for my time wasted.
You sent him an actual no.
I said I was gonna. Man of my word.
So, you don't put mustards on your corn dogs, Mark? Actually, back when I used to eat corn dogs, I would put mustard on my corn dogs. I'm not a ketchup guy. I was always a mustard guy.
So I'm a ketchup guy. Mustard is strictly for chicken sandwiches, and it has to be spicy.
I like mustard on my hot dogs, but I'm like ketchup guy on like anything else.
I'm a psychopath. Dry hot dogs.
Really? Like nothing else? No sauerkraut?
Nothing.
Real quick, we got Alexander Berman with $10 saying R.I.P. Japanime. Look, I tried reaching out to the guy in that community post just to see, like, he's welcome to be on the show, just to air out shit, and just like, even if he's not going to make content, but it just seems like from that last post, he wants to talk about like Gates. He wants to talk about like all the new shit. He's just scared to come back because he knows what's awaiting for him, or he fears what's awaiting for him once he puts out the videos. And it's just like, it sucks that it got to that point that you really want like to put out the content and get your voice back out there after building the platform that you did for so many years, but you're just scared of the negativity just starting back up. That's when you know it gets bad. So,
and I used to watch too, like the negative, like, so you're gonna get, honestly, you can get hate for anything. Like there's Toku tubers who get hate, like I talked about earlier, for even mentioning fan subs. And then there's people who get hate for not acknowledging that fan subs exist. Like,
it's like nowadays with like Crunchyroll being a thing. You know, like all the anime community. Now that Crunchyroll's a thing, anyone who used to watch like shows for like, you know, those websites, you know, the ones that would, you know, fan sub the anime for them, they like, you know how much vitriol they get nowadays, even though a lot of people present the argument, you were back in the day doing these videos before Crunchyroll was even a thing. So how are you watching that anime?
Yep.
Because you got a lot of people doing Ava videos before Crunchyroll was a thing. And let me tell you this, Ava was not in any way English released.
No, not at time, not initially. No, but I also have the thing where it's like, if it gets an official release, I buy it. I don't go to other.
If I really enjoy it, then I will buy the official release.
I just like physical media. I'm a big proponent and a big like physical media needs to be preserved, which is why I'm matching Kamen Rider is digital only this month, no physical release, and I'm like, missed opportunity. Same with even Black Sun. Black Sun got a physical release, I'd buy it. Would I open it and watch it? Probably not, but it'd be in my collection. Because honestly, I'm never gonna fucking finish that series ever. It's never gonna happen.
We're gonna get to the year anniversary, and that's when we're gonna talk about it again. Or we're probably gonna talk about it next time we talk about toy sales, because it seems to be a reoccurring thing. So
yeah. But moral of the story, make that channel, make those videos. Like, and when you do, let me know. DM me or tweet me or whatever, thread me on whatever thread whatever the things are the cool kids are saying, like, and I will check your channel out. I
just don't believe in jumping off of one social media platform to another because it's just going to be the same people just carried over to another platform, and it's going to become the same cesspool.
It's funny. I treat each one different. Like what I post on Twitter isn't what's on Instagram. What's on Instagram isn't on Threads. Like I'm like, listen, if I'm going to be on multiple sites, it's not going to be a copy and paste on each one. Each one is more unhinged than the next. So like Twitter's me like completely like Batman villain. And like Threads is me kind of like, oh, this is nice. Everyone likes me. And then like Instagram's just like, here's some photos. I'm very vain. Just like my shit. Then YouTube, I'm just like, hey, buy my merch. I want money.
I mean, part of the reason why I left Twitter, besides like just the atmosphere in general, was just because I got tired of like, hey, I'm gonna try and reach out to somebody for like being on the live stream or something like that. No, and come to find out, like I'm blocked by them. And it's just like, okay, well,
yeah, I'm blocked by like 12 people.
And like I've lost
count. Check. You can check. I checked. And I looked at the list.
That's like a little add-on. I think I'm blocked by maybe like a couple.
Since I deleted the account, I'm not even. Yeah, like there's no way to check that stuff. But I was just like, after a while, like almost every day, just discovering more and more people blocking me. I was just like, God, like I guess I shit in your cereal. Like I have no idea.
I've publicly said it in videos and tweeted it. I was like, listen, like I have 0 people blocked, and I was like,
yeah,
if I'm blocked by anyone,
single person. So
if you don't talk to the person before blocking them, I was like, listen, you want to tell me why you blocked me? Go right ahead. I'll let you air your grievances, write them down in like the comment card and put them in the box. And if it's something that is a misunderstanding, I'll clear it up. If it's something that's just you being petty and spiteful, trust me, I'm more petty. There's a meme that was going around Facebook of me where there's a photo of Tom Petty, Richard Petty, some other dude whose last name was Petty, and then my photo was the 4th one. And I was like, I understood that reference. That is horrible because apparently I'm very petty. And I was
you should have responded back with the No Fear racing games from the 90s.
They weren't wrong now. Like I am petty, but like I was just like, hey, I'm always open to, if you want to just air your grievances and then still block me, it's like, hey, go ahead.
I think I'm caught in blockchain, so I don't think anyone's maliciously blocked me.
I've got some malicious ones.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, so that's why I'm done with Twitter. Like I'm done dealing with that. It's like if you want to reach out to me, like the Discord's public, you can go over there. Like you can join in. I'm in there as often as I am. Even though I've been a little bit more silent these last 2 weeks for obvious reasons because sick. So this is the most talking that I've done all week once again since last week. So there's all of that.
Also, Mega, if you get to the point where it's like you're doing the content and you want to like be like, hey, collaborate or that, like, dude, don't hesitate. Don't be scared to reach out to people. Like most people be like, okay, yeah. Like I was like that when I started. I was like, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm just gonna make my content.
Yeah, I'm still warming up to that. I'm still warming up to that, reaching out to people for collabs or talking to people.
The entire thing.
I'm so unoriginal. I just need other people to like come up with ideas for me, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll be along for the ride.
That's why doing something like this is a little bit easier. Versus like, I think the biggest thing when it comes to collaborations is don't like shoot somebody like, hey, you want to collab, but then not already have an idea in mind. Or be it completely reliant on the other person. Because if you're the one reaching out for the collab, you should already have an idea in mind. You should have a structure in mind, that type of thing. Like when I started doing this, I was like cooking on the back end on how I wanted to structure this entire thing before I got it off the ground. Like looking at platforms, looking at formats, like making all the intros. And then once all that was done and set up, I was like, all right, we're pretty much good to go this week. And then Mark was like, I can't do this week. I'll do next week. So I was like, all right, we're pushing it back a week. So, and that's how this started.
I'm always busy.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like when you're out there, like, don't hesitate to like reach out for collaborations or things like that, no matter how small or large your channel is. The entire thing is just like, don't let the ego get to you. Like, I'm the same guy as I was when I started my channel. It's just I can edit a lot better than I did when I first started my channel because I've honed and gotten better over time when it comes to all that. But otherwise, just like, yeah, it's just like, just don't change what made you start all this, because people who have watched your content for a while will notice the difference. So yeah.
And the obvious one is just don't be that guy that you don't want existing, you know?
Yes. Don't be what you already hate.
Exactly. It's very easy to become that guy.
And if you can, be like Mark.
Be big money man, Mark. Oh my god.
That said, hey, I still have that intro you made about Big Money Mark. I have that. I'm using that somewhere. I don't know where I have it on my
Money
desktop.
bags, Mark.
I need to see that big money man, Mark.
Hey, use it up. Just get those just get the royalty free music playing back there.
I know.
Oh, look, 3-hour mark.
Yep, we are reaching the 3-hour mark, even though I was only here for like a fraction of that, given how many times I've crashed out tonight.
I know. That's the most. That was like,
that's fine.
That was like
I'm going to rewind
out one at a time.
Yeah, after this is done, I'm rewinding back like the automatic updates from this computer again. I'm like, no, this shit's going away. I hate these Windows 11 updates. They always mess something up.
I know. The new computer I've ordered, I think it has Windows 11 already on it. And I'm like, dude, clean install 10 on it. I don't even care.
Yep.
I'm wiping that 11 right off there.
So yeah, to close things out, you know what? I'm just gonna start in order. So Cloudy.
Please check out my YouTube channel at Cydrixar. You will be very amazed by all the sick and awesome edit work I've done into dubbing. Well, not dubbing, but adding proper subtitles to a lot of Ultraman and other Toku songs. So please check those out. They were a lot of work.
Didn't Cy do the recent Marco script on
yes.
the
we did the iceberg. Toku? We did, and that was
the iceberg, yeah.
So
which is really good.
Check those out. That also supports indirectly. Please do so.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Ash, what you got going on?
You can find me at Deoxy360 on YouTube's, Twitter's, Instagram, Threads, I guess, because that's a new thing. Mostly to promote my stuff. But yeah, I'm probably going to have an Ultraman Blazar review dropping today, tonight, whenever it does. So
and then never again. It's just episode 1.
It's not fair because it's morning for you, so you have more time. It's already 9 p.m. for me, so like, I'm already behind. Like
it's midnight for me.
Like sometimes I wake up on like Sunday morning and this man's Geats review is already out. I'm like, how the fuck?
Oh yeah, my Geats review. My Geats review gets out by like dinner time for me, so it's like 5 a.m. for you guys. So I need to, and that's the thing with the Geats reviews. I need to plot around when I can drop them better, because a lot of people are sleeping when I drop them. Unless it's like a premiere episode, then everyone's awake to watch it now. But yeah, find me at Deoxy360, talking comics, talking Power Rangers. We got the Hyperforce comic coming out in 2 weeks, and then we've got the Prelude to Darkest Hour coming out the week after.
All right. And Mark, what you got going on?
Well, after No Anime Expo now happening, I do have Comic-Con coming up in like 3 weeks, so that's going to be a thing. And then I am actually going to Japan World Heroes, so I'll be filming some content while I'm there. Actually, nice. I'm finally going to do my live stream, the Tokusatsu Hangover. I'm going to be building my King Osier Legend Shoe Gods mini plot kit, because why not? And my Yudos as well. Manga, I've been trying to catch up, but this new actual Tokusatsu inspired one called Henshin came out this week.
Ooh, I'll have to check that.
That's good.
Ooh. Yeah, it's from Bon Idol, and it's through Saturday AM. It's only like $13 on Amazon. It's thick, and I actually combed through it. Art style is really good. Very interesting from a UK author and writer making a Tokusatsu inspired manga, but it goes left. It reads normal though, not like
it reads
style.
Right to left.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. It's on Amazon. Please go check it out if you have it. I'm gonna be working on a video for that because I'm always, intrigued by Tokusatsu inspired other forms of media. A lot of Massiver stuff. Power Ranger comics are picking up. I'm gonna try and do a big, huge the story so far, because we got a big Power Ranger back coming up.
I just read Rogue Sun Volume 1, and I might have to start reviewing Radiant Black when issue 25 drops.
Do it. That's next month. Or this month.
This month.
Mark,
Yeah,
did
2
you
weeks.
see the last week's stream?
Yeah,
when
I was in the
pretended to read?
chat at one point.
Oh, okay. So I'm started reading Radiant Black, right?
I know. I'm proud of everybody because, like,
I'm
when
not.
if anyone asks, say I inspired you to do it, so we can make this whole the fact that I'm technically a massive verse influencer, so they come like, oh, Mark's actually working his magic. Let's
I'll
keep
spread the
sending
word.
stuff, like this little cool little keychain that lights up.
Please send me stuff too, Mr. Kyle Higgins. I love Radiant Black.
I'll just, I'm not gonna say it out loud.
I'll take an autographed comic. I'll be happy.
It's Australia. It's probably because of the Australia thing.
Yeah, dude, I actually have some autographs from meetings. I get anytime I meet them. Like I have all the Ultraman done.
Like Kyle and Ryan, they've got the box ready, and then they take it to like the post office. Like $30 shipping. Nah, back in the basement you go.
But yeah, that's all I'm working. I'm not. I feel bad because I haven't done any King Oger stuff in so long. Like it's just between the computer and like work, and like I haven't had like a lot of time. Like I've been slacking, and usually I do because there's so many conventions coming up right now.
Right.
I mean, don't feel guilty about it. Just
I kind of do because like I like the interaction, and when me and Zoe have had this time before, you get that one comment sort of like where someone's like, "Oh my god, I love this video!" Like this made my day, and it's like, son of a bitch, you freaking whole. Now I gotta be humble. I gotta keep it up for the fans and the people who actually like watch my shit.
That's true.
When I can appreciate like when people like the opening bits after all those edits. Like I had someone just saying that how much they loved my Geats opening bits so much that they just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, great, that's it. Get the lotion ready.
I have a love-hate relationship with them because I'm just like,
that's what you live for,
bitch. I don't have the editing skills for that. I was like, damn it. That's a great idea. I'm glad I discovered it.
Good old Columbus meme right there.
Do I have shit to promote? Not really. I will just say, for people that ignore the ending of my videos, then you probably missed something at the end of my King Oja review. I'll just say that. And for my Geats review, there's actually a seed plant that I put on Galaxy Blade that maybe people might have not noticed. But yeah, I'm cooking up a plot line. That's how you know.
If this ends up into some sort of Snyderverse level like film feature length thing that you're gonna do, like I'm going to lose it.
Oh my god, I think I would die just editing all of that shit alone.
Because every time I'm like, is there a new form? I was like, once I figured out the form, I'm like, oh my god, there isn't there? I was
like there were too many people asking stuff about like, is Lightspeed Hibiki dead? Yeah. I'm just like, did you not watch the ending of my King Oja review? Like, watch.
It's genius. I hate that it's genius because they have to watch other reviews, and that if they forget something, they're gonna go back and watch it. And I'm like,
it's great, especially if they get into it.
And I'm like,
just putting it all. At first, they were supposed to be isolated things, but then I was just like, nah, these crossovers are getting too good.
Dude,
so
you gotta be like superhero, like Senki, freaking.
What people don't know is the other thing that I wanted to cook up last week. I just couldn't because of my throat situation. But I went so far into like editing and already making the visuals for this particular review. And it's not the Don Brothers Zenkaiju review. No. That one's going to be a whole different beast in itself. And I got to be like max, like 100%.
Try like 5 monsters and Dayquil and Nightquil at the same time and just be like, ready to go.
No, but I will say that there is a new wig that's never before seen that I have. And it's going to be for a persona that you can't predict because I'm not even going to go in order.
Oh, sick.
I'm breaking the order.
Oh my god. It's a Shin character, isn't it?
So
no,
yeah.
It's gonna be Jungle Wizard or some shit. Who knows?
so it's just like there's things I've even like it's probably the most money I've spent on buying shit for a persona, and even like just making stuff and crafting on the back end.
I got a quick question for you, Zio.
Yes.
In the IRL chat of the Discord, I was just curious. My dad, he's still on the island. He sent me a picture of when I was a kid. This is like a picture I haven't seen in like ages. Okay, if I like just post it there or not?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so
cool.
Oh my god, are you making yourself a magical girl?
Oh, no,
They
the
made
Sailor
Superman a
Moon
magical girl.
This is not a hint. This is not a hint.
Legit, Superman's a magical girl now.
I saw
in the new
the
anime.
transformation.
Yeah. Which people don't realize that's actually from the new 52's line. So it's like not something they just decide to pull out of their butts. It's
I think
actually already been a
their
thing.
entire big whoop is just that it's the She-Ra staff working on it.
Yeah.
So
I just go by whatever's the coolest name is what I'm gonna guess. Like of all, because we have that list of all the cool names, so I'm just gonna guess.
It's gonna
all
be
the
Pretty
personas.
Drive. Pretty
No,
Drive.
it's Samurai Drive actually.
The Keanu Reeves.
It's gonna be Sailor Guy.
No, it's the Tom
Keanu
Cruise.
Reeves.
No, it was the Tom Cruise was the Samurai Drive, the last samurai.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Any last things before we go ahead and cut it for this evening? No,
3
I don't have any.
hours.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play any outro sound. I disabled
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna-
my soundboard. I'm not trying to
Break.
end the stream by literally just like
Get some rest for your voice.
We just
Yeah.
see smoke in front of the camera because your computer's just fizzling out.
it's just like I don't get it. Windows 11 is just that bad. So if you get the prompt to upgrade up to Windows 11, don't. And with that, we're ending the stream.
Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
Yeah.